Johnny Moda, Misia Koyo. Part 1 ponyo na part 2 dia Yahoo. Arodi ba GC anwo. Akoye mama, awedia akoye fada. Kofre Johnny Moda, Misia Koyo. Part 1 ponyo na part 2 dia Yahoo. Arodi ba GC anwo. Ajapadi anwa bro. Ami usuo.
Work on the National Cathedral is progressing speedily, and following the program of the contractors, and with God helping us, the National Cathedral is expected to be officially commissioned on March 6, 2024. Mr. Speaker, work on the National Cathedral is progressing speedily, and following the program of the contractors, and with God helping us, the National Cathedral is expected to be officially commissioned on March 6, 2024. Upon completion, the National Cathedral will provide a sacred space for formal religious activities of state and symbolize the enormous contribution of faith to nation building. Mr. Speaker, work on the National Cathedral is progressing speedily, and following the program of the contractors, and with God helping us, the National Cathedral is expected to be officially commissioned on March 6, 2024. Upon completion, the National Cathedral will provide a sacred space for formal religious activities of state and symbolize the enormous contribution of faith to nation building.
Let's come back. In the name of Akufo-Addo, Mahmoud Bawumia, and Ken Ofori-Atta,
St. George
commission this expensive hole in the world.
The traditional leader of the Achim state, Osagyefo Amoitio Ofori-Penyins II, has called on Ghanaians to rally their support for the president to enable him construct the controversial National Cathedral. It will be recalled that President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo on March 2017 cut sword for the construction of the National Cathedral. However, works on the project was halted due to capital run-out. It is on the back of this that the Ochehene has called on Ghanaians to contribute towards the building and completion of the National Cathedral. According to him, The president has to glorify the name of the Lord for his mercies, and so building the cathedral will testify he is grateful to God for making him president.
And the other says, yeah, and even we have got investment. And they are Reverend Kenny. Only as a local Israel. Only as a local Babia, and Kahania, Cathedral, no ever answer with questions. I hope who send Jerusalem, make Bethlehem, make Nazareth, Luminajem, in Radonka.
The traditional leader also appealed to the Board of Trustees to endeavor to complete the cathedral. Since the inception of the project has been marred with several controversies, with individuals and civil societies questioning the relevance of the project, especially at this time of the economy.
The building of a cathedral is very important to me. It's a pledge to me. Now, who makes a personal pledge to build a national edifice? Annie, have you seen some before? Who makes a personal pledge to build a national edifice? If you make a personal pledge, then what you are going to build is not going to be for a national. So, please, the building of a cathedral is very important to us. 70% of our population are Christians. I'm very happy that our Muslim friends have got a cathedral, a mosque befitting the status of their religion. 20%, 25% of our people, they've got this splendid place built, I think, with the Turkish government also. Christians also would appreciate the building of a national cathedral.
We have actually gone through conversations where many projects have been introduced, be they hospital facilities, be they school blocks, even in some cases, very important road constructions have become the subject of intense debate and scrutiny. So when the same scrutiny is applied to the construction of the National Cathedral, I expect that each and every one of us, all stakeholders, would first and foremost take these conversations in good faith. Secondly, see them as conversations that are actually being advanced to strengthen or straighten the process. Thirdly, that we live in a country with enormous economic hardships, that currently inflation alone is at a point of nearly 28% and counting. It is the same individuals who will be going through the hardship who will once more be expected to contribute to this particular conversation.
Sometimes those who claim to be holy, those who claim to be pursuing the interests of God, say things and do things which gives God a bad name. And those who are promoting this cathedral project are actually destroying the image of their God. They are destroying God. They are painting him as an insensitive God. An insensitive God who has no sense of priority. An insensitive God who is egocentric and so on. That's the picture they are painting. And if I were their God, I would be very angry with them. If I were their God, I would be extremely angry with them for destroying my name. If I were their God, my goodness, what I would do to them, they will never forget. They are destroying God. They are destroying the image of God. Let anybody tell me that there is a God, any God, anywhere in the world, who thinks that we should continue sending laboratory samples to South Africa for analysis. Because the little money we have, the 200 million Ghana cedis we have, he wants it invested in a cathedral. What God is that?
The idea is for the state of Ghana to bequeath the land to the project on which we are, and for the financing and funding of the project to come from within the Christian community and the community of all believers in Ghana. That's the project that we have, and we're...
Start by putting it on record that as an elder of a church and as a Bible-believing Christian, we on this side are not against the building of a cathedral. However, Mr. Speaker, because we are Christians, we are not playing to the gallery. We are following the dictates of the Bible. And this is what the Bible we believe in says to us. In Luke 14:28-30, is there anyone here planning to build a new house, in this case a cathedral, who doesn't first sit down to figure the cost so you know if you can complete it? If you only get the foundation laid, and Mr. Speaker, the Bible is so telling. The Bible knew Ghana will have a president called Akufo-Addo. This is what he says. If you only get the foundation laid and then run out of money, you are going to look pretty foolish. Everyone passing by will poke fun at you. He started something he couldn't finish. This is the word of the Lord. Don't you look foolish because you have only laid a foundation and run out of money. Mr. Speaker, this is not some church, this is the Bible. You don't go to church. You don't go to church. The Bible knew, God knew that we will be saddled with a president who will not calculate the cost of a cathedral. And we'll run out of money. Mr. Speaker, we have run out of money. People are walking by that place and poking fun at us and say, look at them, they are foolish. Not us, you. And you sit here today and you tell me that unless we build a cathedral, we will not have God's blessings. And you know the same people who say that we have been blessed by not having a civil war. Did we have a cathedral for us not to have a civil war? Look at the cathedrals that we have. I'm a member of the Perez Chapel International. Our cathedral seats 14,000 people. We are building a 5,000-seater cathedral. If 14,000 will not attract the blessings of God, is 5,000 built by an LGBTQ advocate that will attract his blessings? The minister sits there. The minister for Works and Housing is in this house. We are told reliably that the consultant got 34% of the value. The Minister for Works and Housing is here. He sets what consultancy limits must be. He has set it at 16%. So you sat in cabinet and watched your colleague minister pay a consultant 34%. Your ministry has set a standard and he has broken it, 16.5. And he has paid 34%. And you didn't advise him. And you tell us that it is God. And Mr. President, they tell us that if we refuse it, because Nehemiah tried to build, we are Sanballat and Tobias. Hey, wait. When they were building a temple, you've forgotten that there was Ananias and Sapphira. You used the name of God to steal. Stealing in the name of God. That is the sin of Ananias and Sapphira.
Honorable member, you have not laid evidence that anybody has stolen. Kindly withdraw that.
Mr. Speaker, when I said stealing, I was making reference to Ananias and Sapphira, which I did earlier. Ananias and Sapphira stole in the Bible.
You said you are stealing in the name of God. Please, if you make reference to Sapphira, please properly reference it.
Mr. Speaker, for the purposes of clarity, Ananias and Sapphira stole money for the church. And if today we are seeing a disparity of 114 million, that is not being accounted for properly. Mr. Speaker, if this is not Ananias and Sapphira, I don't know what it is. But Mr. Speaker, the most important thing for me here is for us to know that we will have...
Honorable member, hold on. Yes.
The honorable member has referred to me in his his response, and I think it's only fair that I correct him. I think that he's misleading the House.
Yes.
Yes, you made a point that I set the standard for consulting work for architects. But on this case, there is an exception to every rule. And it should be entirely inaccurate to just state that without stating the exceptions. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, continue.
When I said he set a standard of 16.5%. So when you say you gave exception, Mr. Speaker, I was expecting that because Eric Opoku told us we will all account before God on the judgment day, I was expecting you to ask him to show you evidence of the exception that he gave in this case. You are lying.
Honorable, what were you referring to me about Eric Opoku?
That we will all account to God. Mr. Speaker, we will all account to God on judgment day.
And then what?
And I was expecting that maybe you will ask him for evidence of the exception that he said.
Honorable members, please, don't draw me into the argument. I have a totally different interpretation from what you're saying. But if I were standing here, I'll make a different argument. Now, I'm sitting here quietly.
Very well, Mr. Speaker.
Leave me out.
What Parliament did not approve of was only part of the seed money that government said it would give year by year. Part of the seed money, not the money, entire money that is needed to construct and complete the edifice. Somebody was saying that the bill, I said, no, it's not a bill. It's not a bill that has been rejected. You know, people have said that there has not been transparency, but every year in the budget, there has been some seed money. Not taken, from what I understand, from the consolidated fund. But I hear there's something called consolidated vote, which means there's a vote that is given. I don't know how it's used, but so that was going to be the seed money. But it does not mean that the project cannot go on. Because I know you are going to bring your 100 CDs. I'm going to give my 100 CDs. Everybody that we will approach, those who are willing, really those who are willing are the people making the money available for the construction. So I think we should all, how should I say it, just keep calm and not be disturbed. Don't let's be disturbed. Parliament has every right not to accept what a budget brings. In fact, after the budget has been brought, every ministry has to go and speak to the specific committee in Parliament so that what they have budgeted for will be approved. So that is exactly what happened. So we went through our ministry and ours didn't get accepted. What Parliament did not approve of was only part of the seed money that government said it would give year by year. Part of the seed money, not the money, entire money that is needed to construct and complete the edifice.
Cathedral.
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 Cathedral. Cathedral.
Cathedral.
Cathedral.
The National Cathedral Project.
I'm hearing that a governor in the South is spending 10 billion naira to build an ecumenical a place of worship for all Christians. I don't know, is it true? I hope it's not true. I read it on Facebook. That's why I'm throwing it to you now. A governor from South, I think it's Akwa Ibom State. Is anybody from Akwa Ibom State here? Is it true? It's true. You also heard it, that your governor wants to spend 10 billion naira to build a worship center. And I'm sure in our hearts we'll be clapping for him. Hey, he's a Christian. How many industries have they built? What are you building another house for in a state where I'm sure you can't count the number of churches? The numbers are too big. God doesn't even know where to stay again. He's confused. You're building another one for what? Do you know how many agro-allied industries 10 billion naira can build? For a state when I'm sure it has among thousands of jobless youths. You will build the church, the jobless people will now come to the church and be praying, not knowing that their job is where they are standing on.
And that delusion that it is not because of the irresponsibility, the physical irresponsibility that has occurred under his watch that is causing a direct impact on our fallen city, and he believes that is external problems. When the whole world is getting out of the external shocks, then it's a president's. I can only say that we don't have a future. And that delusion that it is not because of the irresponsibility, the physical irresponsibility that has occurred under his watch that is causing a direct impact on our fallen city, and he believes that is external problems. When the whole world is getting out of the external shocks, then it's a president's. I can only say that we don't have a future. If the president still lives under that delusion that it is not because of the irresponsibility, the physical irresponsibility that has occurred under his watch that is causing a direct impact on our fallen city, and he believes that is external problems. When the whole world is getting out of the external shocks, then
the appearance of partisan neutrality are paramount and must be safeguarded. It is against this background that we have, over the years, consistently advocated for a transparent and inclusive process for appointing persons to fill vacancies on the EC. The appointment to the EC of individuals known as widely perceived to be partisan or party-based can only go to deepen public mistrust in the EC. We believe strongly that the resignations of Dr. Peter Piahini and Salima Ahmed Tijani are a necessary step in the efforts to rebuild trust and confidence in the EC, thereby guarantee the peace of our elections and the effectiveness of the Commission in the discharge of its extremely important national mandate. God bless our homeland, Ghana. Long live Ghana. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Honorable Regional Minister, all protocol duly observed. My team and I, we are very glad to be here in this glorious occasion. I'll start by introducing my team. I have my returning officer, Elvis Coker, here. And I have my two deputies, James Bele Ire. I hope my pronunciation is getting better. Bele Ire. Yes, he's a deputy returning officer. And I have Peter Abraham. Yes, he's also a deputy returning officer. These are the abled men I work with to help us have successful elections in this constituency. So thank you very much. And myself, I'm Mr. Isaac Akoto Dako. I'm the officer, district officer, election officer for Nandom. Municipal election officer. Thank you. So I've enjoyed my stay so far working with all of you in this municipal, and thank you for your cooperation all the time. I don't have the opportunity to express my gratitude, but today I'll use the opportunity to express my gratitude. Thank you all. All right. You know, for a moment, as a referee, when I picked the mic, I was tempted to say Kukrudu. But as a referee, you know, I have to play by the rules. Yeah, so I pretend. Okay, so my job here is very simple. We are here to acclaim the only standing aspirant or candidate for the MPP. So I'm hoping that you all cooperate with me to make this task a very simple one. Please, are you ready to cooperate? Yes, so that we can move on. I shouldn't even spend up to 5 minutes over here. So when nominations were open, it was successful, and at the close of nomination, only one candidate emerged. Yes, and he's in the person of the Honorable MP Ambrose Derry. Yes. Yes. Yes.
so.
Nukure woman say MPP as a political party, an MPP government. Yes, say someone say the you live in a bar and about more we need 2024 elections, sir. Yeah, mama, that opportunity. You remember this voting here said you are going to come here changing a chance, sir. Sir, the copy Supreme Court. More, na say abano easy a mama. And I'm the Yisi ni MPP ako anamudi Yisi ako court na MPP so one of the respondent. Yisi moka ma asem wie na MPP say eh ye kra yini kasa. Judge na na oti adwamu. Ti find this for nanu asem no mo kan fo mu de na fa bu asem na maye. Ye di fo abuefo. Anu this fo mu ye kum. Na benya so no bi enya asem na makopie panyin anim. Wo de makọ ukọ ya uka asem sin na me de me ni hwe ka fa wono ne nsem no waka na bu amefo. Fabu asem sin di for the confirm. Say obi be ka say ma jam na me nko wo sword this way. Yes see you live no. Mo dey mo support you and I say mo ni because see yen this NPP nyina no as two major political parties. Yeah, kwa elections are yeah sure obi a weak obi a pen yonko weak point. If
what is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
And that delusion that it is not because of the irresponsibility, the physical irresponsibility that has occurred under his watch that is causing a direct impact on our fallen city. And he believes that is external problems. When the whole world is getting out of the external shocks, then it's the president's. I can only say that we don't have a future. If the president still...
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Friday,
The 27th of September 2024. By His grace, we're alive and we're here. We're yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude to go to Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making the rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly, but let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. Please debunk claims of detaining minors, pregnant woman. Allow stakeholders to support free SHS funding. MOBA panelists. Constituency Watch. Ododo constituency. Can NPP halt NDC dominance? And there's a special supplement on World Tourism Day. The Ghanaian Times. National Identification Database. 6.2 million children to register for Ghana card from October to March 2025. Public Varsity Union's walk of jobs. Commencement of 2024-2025 academic year postponed. Call for voters register. Forensic audit premature. EC replies NDC. Democracy Hub case. Oliver Bakavomawo remanded. Daily Guide. NDC demonstration. No pregnant woman or child arrested, please. Government won't tolerate lawlessness. Information Minister. EC launches online voters exhibition. Bawumia to launch taxi drivers digital platform. NIA begins minors registration October 7. New weekend crusading guide. EC shoots down NDC call for forensic audit. Assures discrepancies have largely been corrected. Government won't tolerate any act of lawlessness. Information Minister. David Buedia Samoa is acting managing director of ECG. Stop refueling vehicles with passengers on board. NPA. OSP pushes for centralized law enforcement platform to tackle corruption. Ibuakwa North MP supports NPP campaign with motorcycles and bullion van. The Insight. Alan worried over bloated voter register as Senpoa warns of chaos if EC proceeds with questionable role. NP fingers Akufo-Addo's family in alleged $812 million Ghana gas shady deal. Nkrumah is champion of Ghana's liberation and African unity. Protest greets Akufo-Addo at UN over Galamsey and arrest of Democracy Hub protesters. Nearly 600 parliamentarians from 73 different countries call on the US to take Cuba off the state sponsor of terrorism list. The Herald. $25 million questionable contract and workers' anger. And ECG bosses tenure. Over 200 workers vowed to resist Mineral Commission's coup at Bogoso Prestia Mines. Highlights of NDC and MPP manifestos on energy. Tekwebiawe clan warns Electrochem against listing Songo on stock exchange. Edward Bauer links Akufo-Addo family to shady $812 million Ghana gas deal. The Informer. Scheme pain. Bernard Mona finds solace in Okuadonko over disqualification. Alleged sale of land. Power of attorney granted Danufawa and Sons Mohammed Musa revoked. Huja blesses no one destroys. Chief declares endorses Bawumia's dissent campaign. Nowhere cool. Ghanaians beware of false promises of better livelihood in other countries. As Pharmaceutical Society cries over Galamsey menace, Bawumia government will ban mining in rivers and forests. Napo assures. Ahead of elections 2024, please warn party supporters against unruly behavior. The Inquisitor. As attention is on Galamsey, illegal loggers enjoying. Next NPP government will ensure sustainable mining in Napo. Next NPP government. Okay, so we should enjoy it for now, right? Anyway, NDC reminds EC of petition to audit voters register. PHFAOG comments NHI for unprecedented prompt payment of claims. UK government raises alarm over Galamsey and gold smuggling. The Daily Statesman. Help bridge our infrastructure deficit. Global Africans call to action. Government warns against act of lawlessness. EC rejects NDC demand for voters register audit. Religious and traditional leaders predict Bawumia's victory. The Daily Searchlight. Labour Ministry sued over efforts to invade World Bank project. Togbe Afede the 14th condemns destruction of natural resources. ECG board appoints David Asamoah as interim managing director. Stop refueling vehicles with passengers on board. MPA. Tap into business opportunities on social media. Students of Wisconsin University urged. The Custodian. NDC planned Democracy Hub demo. Cheddar. EC rejects NDC's forensic audit demand. Government won't tolerate lawless acts. Information Minister. Don't refuel vehicles with passengers on board. NPA. NPP's incentives to cocoa farmers unmatched. NAPO. Daily Post. What is the Jean Mensa-led EC afraid might be discovered as NDC stakeholders insist on forensic audit of voters' register? Honorable Adam Mutawakilu Gallus, honored by Jira Yagbonwura B. Kunuto Jehu. Ghanaians in the U.S. report Akufo-Addo and EC to the UN. Business and Financial Times. Palm oil producers project steep rise in imports. Cite impact of illegal mining. PURC denies responsibility for ECG bankruptcy concerns. Stop refueling vehicles with passengers on board. NPA. Premium vehicle registration and driver license ultra center opens in Accra. Ghana ahead of regional peers. That's AML CFT compliance. Feature. Building a financial future beyond the stethoscope. And another feature reads The Road to Nigeria, Corruption and Hope. Finally, the good old Catholic standard. Love will change economy, not power. Do not create your own crosses. Catholic Church commended for provision of holistic education. Catholic priests inspire community to reject galamsey bribe. In God, life finds its true purpose. Bishop Jemfi to youth. Editorial. Outlaw importation of second-hand clothing. And that's about it for the front pages. We'll be back shortly.
She's coming. She's coming!
Oh, it's in. Right now, receive so! Boss, let's go back.
Okay, here. Take this.
She's coming.
I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming. Oh.
She's here. Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Customer, I don't know who was to say.
Malaria been actually me on my no still.
Ah, one of them give us.
Give us a solid.
Yeah, sorry. What rest of so give us here and don't come down.
What's over that song? But tomato give us the and some down.
Give us a bad mixture.
Maybe I try the and some down.
Customer! Give us that tonto now. Pa.
Onuya kayo, oba wa fa furo nom. The woman the bonu fo nom. Akwada won infie dumie no ono so nom.
Choose the perfect prize for you every week and stand to win your choice of exciting prizes. All to get more of what matters to you. Exclusive to Betway. Betway, get way more. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Machasi. It's her smile, the fresh breath.
Me, Jidi said we use Kel 360 toothpaste. Some kind. Kel 360 toothpaste.
Guys, Kia, Kel 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector. Onim jom kasan. Kile hosen. Kel 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
And you will so feeling kika when you know Kel 360 toothpaste. Happy smile.
Kel 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Now let me tell you why you should choose Safari Valley as your conference destination.
The new conference building combines modern amenities with the tranquility of nature, providing the perfect backdrop for your next seminar and corporate retreat.
The only conference destination with so many activities. You don't have to travel to visit your tennis club, the gym, or the stables. They have it all.
Enjoy this rooftop viewing deck, basking in the sunlight with the sight of wild animals roaming freely in their natural habitat.
At my break, I'm able to practice my putting.
It's a unique experience that sparks creativity and rejuvenates the mind.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Hello, my name is Roland Walker. I'm here at Coastal Park. It's one of the many courts belonging to estate masters, and they are into service plots, property management, and luxury homes. And just in case you want to make that decision to invest into a landed property, estate masters is the right choice to make. If it is from an indenture, a site plan, you want it also barcoded, all is available. You might have heard about Chopoli. It's where we have the next cottage of estate masters. It is not only one of the thriving, but the most inviting landed property sites for you also to invest in. We encourage you, do invest in the next cottage at Chopoli. It is just close to the yet to be demarcated airport. That also will be a valuable property for you to invest in.
Hey, Walambo!
Hey, Walambo!
Hey, I asked him to buy me original Polita.
Hey, please don't make mistake. Don't Papa. Open the back man. And you Polita no gala. You Papa.
Papa, can ruffle.
The Polita is original, the first and the best.
What is? Ukota also for dear acrobat using it.
Polita, yes.
The luckiest.
Star 712#.
Luck is everywhere.
8K. Hey, you get an 8K. Get back packing so you have to come out. Wallah. Hey, wait.
You go put it on his tab. This is my man. Good
luck.
Hey, Google radio. We are star 712. It's much phone. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Let's
choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
No, maybe straight to option 4.
Now we try. You need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify.
Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets. I'm choosing random tickets.
Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and buy you.
With your body,
Hey,
there we are. Tread cautiously. Now follow the prompts and confirm. Now with the luckiest
The Luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Cratchy, unemu bua unkoisha Dr. Ban uye denwa.
Oh, Mr. Yamfan come and me buru ah.
Mami do buru. Don't ni atele be ko bra. Mumi Yamfan ko Dr. Ban ho.
Dr. Ban oya de.
Bra, se ba no mpemu adwuma sasabro slow Dr. Ban oye.
Hey, me kwada meka. Oh, no mpemu nimdi onu na ye expert nya zanfo no. O akra eni Kumasi no mpemu expert yen kan kire o.
Dear Ghana, I write you this on the year you have to take the most important decision of your life. 2024, deciding who should serve you, protect you, govern you, and provide for you for the next 4 years and beyond is no child's play. This is the most important decision of your life. Whatever action you take, make sure you know why. The same with speaking. Don't just run your mouth. Know why. There's a time to crack jokes and a time to be serious. The most advanced societies know why they are doing something most of the time. Not all friends can be trusted. In the end, it all comes down to you and your decisions. Who really are your friends? Who will make that difference when it comes to the decisions you make in life? Who really has your back? Choose wisely. Choose Election Central. Yours ever, Metro TV.
Ignite Media Group, operators of Metro TV, Original TV and FM, is looking for volunteers in all 276 constituencies for the 2024 general elections. The volunteer must be over 18 and must show ability to report on the elections. A first degree in any discipline will be an advantage. The suitable candidate must also have some equipment, for example, a phone to report with. If you satisfy these, please contact 0545 734637 0545 734637 or send an email stating your constituency to bnamfo@metrotvonline.com. Huge opportunities await you.
This world, whatever does not get challenged does not change. Any state will continue to be that same state until it is challenged. Adam brought death and Jesus dissolved death. But death continues to behave as if it is king, and that will continue until some people challenge it. According to the scriptures, God himself has determined that there will come a time that he will raise a people that will dissolve death on this earth. We have over DEATH.
Get ready for the New Creation Conference 2024 with Dr. David Bindan on the 14th and 15th of November 2024. Theme: Deathlessness. Venue: Accra International Conference Center, Accra, Ghana. Time: 5:30 p.m. each evening. New Creation Conference, helping you exhibit the divine life.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Get 10% off food, drinks, beauty and cosmetics, home essentials, electrical appliances, mobile phone and accessories, clothing, footwear, made in Ghana goods and so much more at the Momo Cashless Market. Yes, you heard right. From the 2nd to the 6th of October at the God Park, Tetekwashi Interchange, there will be over 100 merchants in one place with amazing discounts for all Momo customers. Fun activities include artist performance, DJs on rotation, board and TV games, kids zone and giveaways. Join the fun at the God Park, Tetekwashi Interchange. From the 2nd to the 6th of October 2024 each day, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and just Momo everywhere you go. And Kel 360 toothpaste is the toothpaste approved by the Food and Drugs Authority, which will take care of your entire family and save you some money. Kel 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. Kel 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using Kel 360 toothpaste. Kel 360 toothpaste brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint, gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use Kel 360 toothpaste. It's another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso. It's available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. Call Samara Company on 0246 864798. Kel 360 toothpaste. Happy smile. And with me on the show this morning, I have the Vice Chairman of Bawumia 2024, Nana Akomia, the Honorable Nana Akomia. Nana, good morning.
Morning, right?
Right. Also with me on the show this morning is the man who's back. I don't know if he came back with the Ghanaians who sent that video that they've been tricked into fighting on the war front of the Ukraine-Russian war. But he's back.
What? You went to Russia?
Ukraine. He's back.
Yes, I was in Ukraine last week.
The son of man, chairman of the Assurances Committee in Parliament. Mr. Chairman is here. He's also a member of Parliament for the Norton constituency. The son of man, the Honorable Samuel Kudjato Ablakwa is here with us. Sammy, good morning.
Hi, good
and
morning.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Good to see you.
Ukraine.
Yes. Our counterparts in the Ukrainian Parliament invited us, members of the Foreign Affairs Committee, to come visit them and to see.
A couple of years ago, you were at the
Russia.
Russian
yes,
Parliament.
Yes,
okay.
yes. I've done a number of visits to Russia, the Russian Parliament, and then a few weeks ago with former President Mahama at the Russian Academy of Sciences when he was invited to launch the Russian edition of his book. So I have successfully straddled both warring countries, Russia and Ukraine. This was a particularly insightful visit, and it should remind all of us that war cannot be an option. I mean, we were sent to cities that have been ravaged by war, from Odessa to parts of Kiev. You see whole towns and cities deserted. The bullets that have riddled through.
So that's you.
Yes.
What are you doing?
So there's an ongoing demining. You know, the Russians left a lot of mines in the fields, largely farmlands. You know that Ukraine is the headquarters for wheat production. So a lot of the war took place on these large wheat farms, you know, and as part of the strategy, you know, war strategy, they leave mines so that if you're trying to follow and you activate those mines, it will go off, blow up, and these are mines that can kill thousands of people as far as the technology. That's
you weren't scared walking around those
well, I love adventure. And you have experts who were taking us around, who were demining. They have the equipment, so we are able to detect.
Is that Kenche?
Yes. The Honorable Oko van der Poy was with us. The Honorable Zuera Mohammed, the Honorable John Osef from home.
She's the one in the scarf,
yes,
right?
The one in the scarf. Yes. So a 5-member delegation.
Oh, from the Parliament of Ghana?
Yes, the Parliament of Ghana. Officially invited by the...
So majority and minority?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, by the Ukrainian Parliament.
Okay.
And they were really happy to see us. They say that it's a historic visit. It is the first visit since the 24th February war from an African parliament. They've only received a few visits from their European and American counterparts, but this is the first time an African delegation since the 2.5-year war has visited them. They have subsequently formed a Ukraine-Ghana Parliamentary Friendship Association. And Doc, we have to do everything to preserve our peace. Will you believe that whilst we were there on 2 occasions, there were bomb scares? And you know, they have apps. So as soon as you arrive, they tell you to download those apps, and it's able to detect when missiles are flying within a particular radius. And then everybody must use the staircase and go to a bunker. So virtually every facility, every hotel, every restaurant has a bunker, which they call a shelter, underground, where you go there so that in case your building is attacked and it topples, you probably may be safe. So they are living in constant fear, and you hear you know, children crying and mothers really traumatized when, you know, the alerts go off and you have to make a quick dash to the bunkers. We really, as a country, must do everything to protect our peace and stability.
Do we have bunkers at the Jubilee House and Parliament?
I don't know about Parliament. I don't know about Parliament. I haven't seen that before.
What about Jubilee House?
Jubilee House.
You know, Kenya, that's where they went to.
Yes, that's what saved some of our colleagues. I remember the Honorable Neil van der Poy was there at the time visiting. And you know, you can't fly into Ukraine because, you know, no flight zone. And, you know, any flying object is fair game, can be gunned down. So you have to fly to a neighboring country, and then you go by road. It took us 11.5 hours by road through the other European country we used. And you have to do this undercover and all of that. So it's really terrible what is going on there. And, you know, whilst we were there, it occurred to me that perhaps the solution to this war is Africa. And if the African Union, if African leaders position themselves, because we have good bilateral diplomatic relations with both countries. And to be fair, many of the big powers have really taken sides in this conflict. They have their hands soiled, if you like, one way or the other. So Russia has its allies. These days, there is talk of India, China, North Korea, and the likes. And then Ukraine also have their allies, United States of America. They don't hide it. I mean, as we speak, Volodymyr Zelensky is in Washington. Last night, he presented what he calls his victory plan to President Biden, and he's also met the front runners in the elections in the United States of America, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, so that whoever wins, they will continue to support them with the billions of dollars. We know that Europe, the EU, is also on the side of Ukraine. Africa so far has done quite a good job in maintaining a fine balance, largely, even if you look at our votes at the United Nations. And perhaps it is time to position ourselves as peacemakers to go in and bring the warring factions together. Because clearly there's a stalemate, and it's become a proxy war.
I'm just somebody watching us.
It's become a proxy war.
Somebody watching us will say, Samipa. you are here. ECOWAS.
Yeah.
Burkina out.
Yes.
Niger.
Yeah.
Mali.
Yeah.
You have not been able to get them into your small 15-member ECOWAS.
I'm a global citizen.
You want to go and solve Ukrainian problems.
I'm a global citizen. It is not beyond us. It's not beyond us. I mean,
remember. I was going to say something in Ghana.
No, Doc. No, Doc. I can understand you, but remember that as a country, we are founders of the non-aligned movement.
True.
You know, we have always been a force for peace, you know, since the likes of Osagyefo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. We're one of the first countries to deploy peacekeeping operations in 1960 to the Congo. You know, and at the United Nations, our record is sterling, you know, apart from the fact that we produced the first president of the General Assembly. We have really, in various theaters of conflict, we have been the country that steps in and ensure that peace prevails. You remember our work in Rwanda. The Rwandans up to now, tankers, our generals have received the highest national awards, you know, the Battle of Quito Carnival, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and all of that. So I don't want us to shrink our role, our image. You know, when you go out there, the kind of image we have as a country because of this history, you know. So I know that, yes, we have a lot of local challenges.
That's Africa. When
we have a
come
lot of
to
local,
Ghana,
yes,
Ghana,
yes.
You are not able to protect your water bodies and forest cover.
And even solve the Boku,
and
Boku
you want
crisis.
to go to this thing, Ukraine to go and do what?
I'm saying that we can position ourselves as
you move away
we can.
From that one.
We can. No. I wouldn't move away. It's something I believe.
No,
in
we can
strongly.
do the advocacy.
I believe.
We can continue with the advocacy.
I believe in this passionately. I will not move
beyond
away.
the grammar, I'm sure people will laugh at
Look,
us.
Look
at these people.
No,
even water to drink.
No, I agree with you.
Protect
I agree with you. I mean, it's a failure of leadership.
Yeah,
but that should
stop
tell
people
you
from finishing off their forest cover.
No, it tells you the decline. I mean, this was a country that towered above many others. People looked up to us, you know, for global peace. Founders of the non-aligned movement during the Cold War era, when big powers were engaged in all kinds of nuclear armament and nuclear, if you like, accumulation. We were able to offer the solution to global peace. But now we've retrogressed in all departments. And I think that occasionally it's important to remind ourselves of the history, where we have come from, how we are perceived. And perhaps if we remember that and reflect on that, you know, the way we are failing locally on basic things, minor issues that should not become, you know, major, should not become a challenge. It will spare us to a new kind of leadership, a new, you know, status, a new mindset, which will drive us forward. And that's why I make these points.
Help me something, educate me on this, and then I will bring Nana in. Nana will also help us with his experience as well. So after a trip like this, would you submit an official report to Parliament? Would you make an official statement on the floor? Or it's just that you visited, you've interacted, end of the story?
No. The Speaker always demands a report. So there's always a clerk of the committee who accompanies members of Parliament. Nana Akomia will confirm that. And so our clerk was with us, and I've already seen the draft report, which will be presented to the main clerk, to the Speaker. And then there are follow-up actions. Sometimes a statement on the floor. Sometimes there could even be a resolution that will be proposed. And in this instance, where they have formed the Ukraine-Ghana Parliamentary Friendship Association, the principle of reciprocity. So we will be recommending in our report that the Ghana side will also have to do that. But I mean, we are always cautious. The Foreign Affairs Committee, we always, because of our non-aligned movement, because of being friends to all sides, and the fact that we have cordial diplomatic relations with all sides, we are going to position ourselves in a way that no one side feels that we are taking sides or, you know, unnecessarily want to, if you like, undermine the relations, the cordial relations that we have. So we are guided by that principle, and the kind of reports and the kind of statements that will be made on the floor.
The issue about the Ghanaians who sent a video, a distress video, that they had been lured into Ukraine. They went through Russia, and that they now find themselves fighting the war, and some of them had passed on. First of all, I don't know if this video came to your attention as a parliamentary group, and whether it came up during your visit.
Yeah, you know, it came up just when we were on our way out. We were transiting at the time when we all saw the video. Really, really heart-wrenching. And They are mentioning some travel agent. They say 1 month supporter will lure them. And you know, interestingly, it had come up in our deliberations when we met the National Security Council of Ukraine. They told us, they presented some report, of course, because they said it was classified. I can't give details, but it emerged that there were a number of fighters from various African countries. They even have some, you know.
So there's an active recruitment process.
Estimates, an active recruitment process.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. And they say
for which one, the Russians or?
Yeah, on
both sides.
They were accusing the Russians of doing active recruitment. I'm sure that when you meet the Russians, they will also complain about the role of other countries. So it's largely both sides. And you see, at least let the people know that this is what you want to recruit them for. But if you watch the video carefully, they were told that, look, there are jobs available, and they were not told that they are going to fight. And you see, this is war.
That is if they are being truthful.
Yes, that is if their account is accurate. And this is war. I mean, if you haven't been trained, you are not. Even for soldiers who have been trained for many years, it's not easy for them. So we have formally submitted a video to both sides, and we are asking for their assistance. Certainly, we've also engaged our foreign ministry here to do some work on that. They say that they are in Odessa. That's one of the very tricky areas, and it's going to be quite difficult to parachute them out of that place. We just have to pray for them. You know that at some point, even what was agreed on the in terms of aid corridor and then the wheat corridor, the Black Sea Agreement, all of those have been jeopardized, and
they keep breaching them.
They keep breaching it every now and then. So it's not going to be an easy task, but it calls for major public education. And you see, our immigration officials, you know, there's too many of these reports. We are still having cases of people being lured by all kinds of agencies to the Gulf states, for example, that, you know, you're going to do a decent job either on the farm or a factory, and they end up as, you know, house helps to all kinds of unscrupulous people who just violate their rights, you know. So we need to tighten security at our borders when it comes to these travels, and then more fundamentally create good economic conditions here. Because at the end of the day, it's really this search for greener pastures. I mean, the mirage will continue if we do not create better conditions here for our young people. If unemployment continues to be spiraling out of control beyond 14.7%, and you have factories collapsing, in my place alone, Aveime rice factory has collapsed, Japan textiles has collapsed, you know, and there are all of these reports all over the place of collapsing factories.
I think these are the guys.
You know, yeah,
these are the guys.
Really sad, really tragic. But our thoughts,
it was a TV3 report.
Prayers, yes, our thoughts and prayers continue to be with them. But there's a lot going on behind the scenes, I can confirm, to see how they can be ferried out of harm's way.
Okay. Nana, you know, I remember that day where we had our first discussion on this Russia-Ukraine thing. And to be honest, I remember you described it as a David and Goliath, and you even believing that in a matter of weeks, I mean, it was going to be over. But it appears that what we anticipated is not what is happening.
Yes, clearly. And the fact that Ukraine, whilst we are here lamenting about the plight of Ukraine, the fact that they actually have the mindset to be inviting
foreign
delegations of parliamentarians to come shows that maybe the situation is not as bleak as the reports that you get on the international media. Because a country having suffered 2.5 years of war against them by such a nuclear power, which is also a neighbor, you would have thought that they wouldn't even have the peace of mind to be inviting MPs. And it's interesting when Sammy was talking about how they got to Ukraine. But this is a war zone.
Yeah.
You know, and you would have thought that you'd be very careful if you are going to a war zone.
Yeah.
I mean, you said you couldn't fly.
Yeah.
Even then, and you have to go to another country and then drive 11 hours. It's still dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, these are
we were given protective equipment, PPE, bulletproof
against missiles.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and there was one soldier each in a vehicle. So,
sorry, I mean, against missiles, it's a dangerous situation.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know why they still chose to invite civilian politicians to come to the country at this time. But what is going on in Ukraine is clearly a failure of the United Nations Security Council as currently constituted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this business about Ghana, I don't know where Sammy gets off. That Africa is actually the key to stop it.
Sure. I mean, we haven't taken sides. We're not sponsoring.
It's not about you taking sides. You know, Sammy, we are all Africans. We are all Africans. We are Africanists. We are proud of our continent, despite the difficulties and so on. But please, I mean, how can Africa be the key to solve this Ukraine-Russia matter?
We've done
even our own wars in Africa, Sudan. Sudan.
Yeah.
We always wait for some big powers to come and solve our problems.
But in our glorious days, we were able to, when we formed the NAM.
In our NAM, the non-aligned movement.
Yeah.
Well, we're solving war.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah. In apartheid, the apartheid regime. It was really our effort. You know, the Battle of Kitwe Canava.
No. I thought it's the Cubans who sent some troops to fight us.
But African governments played a
Cuba is not part of NAM.
In the States, I should inform you. I should remind you that President Nkrumah was on his way to Hanoi.
Yes.
When the coup happened. So stay at home and before Nana Kumia's client.
Actually, I was coming to that.
That's a good one.
I was coming to that because you know the Ivorian situation, the Ivorian civil war, because we were the closest neighbors, and I think President Kufuor at that time was the ECOWAS. We made some efforts and so on. They came here, both factions, or the 2 or 3 factions came here and so on. But we don't have a record of solving our own security problems. That's what I'm saying. They're all over. Anytime, look, there are wars going on in what do you call that place? Congo, wars, even in West Africa.
So how about our record in Liberia, in Sierra Leone, in Rwanda? I mean, large African troops. All the others left. The Canadians run away. The French run away.
No. As for troops, as for contributing troops.
Our soldiers are celebrated. Peacekeeping operations, we are number one.
But they are always done under the aegis.
Of the UN.
Of the UN.
Yes, but
we ourselves.
But we do the groundwork.
No, please. You are in for it. We are on our own accord. We haven't managed to do anything as ECOWAS or as UN. What is it? How do you call it? African continent.
ECOWAS. You mean
AU?
AU. Whether as ECOWAS or AU.
No, I think you're being too
pessimistic. We said we were going to made some noise about intervening in some neighboring countries. Remember?
Niger.
They came to sleep now and chop our money and
block roads.
And issue statements in big English and French.
I thought the next day they were going. They couldn't do anything. But
but that one I predicted.
When you're trying to stop something, you still with it. But clearly, and you don't need even to go to Ukraine to be able to value peace. I mean, And in Ghana, our record in terms of maintaining our internal peace is very good, comparable to anywhere in the world. And we should always make an effort to preserve our peace. But Randy, my earlier point is that the Ukraine war, 2.5 years, is clearly a failure of the United Nations security system. I mean, Russia is actually a member of the Security Council.
Yes.
Russia is actually
a
permanent member.
Yeah, P5.
So, being part of the global infrastructure to maintain peace, this is the global infrastructure that we have, the United Nations Security Council, and they've gotten all the big powers in there so that so they can prevent fighting and prevent a global war. And then you have a member of this same watchdog engaging in this conduct for 2.5 years. And the other great powers have not been able to use the architecture of the Security Council to bring their own member to the negotiating table. And for 2 years, people are dying on both sides. And it's clearly a failure. That whole architecture must be revised. Because you are the watchdogs. And so you are supposed to watch over the whole global system. And then you yourself, your own members are engaged in this. Because of this war, the United Nations should take a look at that structure and refine it to be more responsive. And you know what is unfortunate about this Ukraine war is that they are sitting ducks.
Yeah.
Ukraine. So it's like as we are sitting here, and then somebody comes and is giving us blows, but we can't give them blows. That's how it is. If they throw a blow, we try and defend, maybe parry the blow, and so on. But we can throw a blow because Ukraine cannot throw a blow at Russia. You know, so when the Russian troops come to Ukraine, they try and defend. When the Russian missiles are coming, they try and block the missiles. But they cannot throw a missile at Russia. So they are sitting ducks. It's such an unfortunate situation. And just a couple of days ago, I heard a Russian president say that if anybody gave Ukraine weapons so they threw at Russia, then Russia is going to also attack that country that gave the support to Ukraine or the capacity to Ukraine. So the Ukrainians are just sitting there. And what this kind of war where you cannot fight back, you can only defend, it's such a terrible thing. And the toll is hard on the country Ukraine. You know, but it's a testament to their resilience that even in this situation, they're able to create a corridor for delegations from Ghana and so on to visit. Let's all pray or do the advocacy so the United Nations. Have they finished the conference?
No, I'm not sure.
No.
I do not get reports that the Ukraine war is at the top of the agenda in the current UN meeting.
I guess it depends on the individual countries and what they focus on with respect to their speeches.
Yeah, and I think that the rising escalations in the Middle East have also, diverted attention because clearly Israel is moving into Lebanon and they want to go after Hezbollah, so they are expanding beyond Hamas now, and that is a worry for everybody. So we are going to have another full-blown war whilst you have Russia and Ukraine unresolved. So I think attention, you're right, attention appears to be shifting away.
What I'm actually looking for is putting it on the Security Council's agenda, not individuals coming, choosing to come and talk about it and go, but actually putting it on the agenda, on the United Nations Security Council agenda, and having a focused discussion on what to do. Because like I say, this Middle East Israel thing, Israel is now so dominant. But and they are dominant, we all know why Israel is dominant. It's because of the huge support that they usually get from America, which is part of the UN Security Council. And if Russia also decide that I'm also going to set up a proxy, let's say Iran, and also arm Iran, so they can also fight back against Israel.
But that's what's happening. That's the fear. That if you were to escalate, then you have countries like Iran, you have Lebanon, you have all those joining.
It's just that now the Israeli military capacity is so much more overwhelming that it seems to be they seem to be having their own way. But if Russia goes in with more sophisticated weapons, I mean, look, Iran or something, they threw some 100 missiles and only like 3 landed or so. You know, so clearly, and the Israelis have missiles that can penetrate into underground bunkers and so on. What they're doing in Lebanon against the Hezbollah and so on. So the architecture of the UN Security Council, we really should be looking at it. And I would have wished that it was a major topic for discussion in the light of the Ukraine war and in the light of what is happening in the Middle East. But it doesn't seem to be the biggest issue now at the UN.
Okay. Now, let's come back home. What's going on with the campaign? What's happening? The EC has responded to the NDC and Movement for Change. They say that they have largely corrected a lot of the errors. They say that they will do an online exhibition, a re-exhibition online. I don't know how many Ghanaians will be able to participate in an online re-exhibition. And we know our country.
But even the fiscal people didn't go. Did you go to check yours?
Yes,
you went to check
yours? Yes, I did. My wife and I, we did.
But even with that one, there was an online facility. Many people did. But in all of this, what is IPAC?
IPAC is there.
Because when I say where is IPAC, why is IPAC not meeting on this matter? In the last 2-3 weeks that we've had these agitations from the NDC, no matter how unjustified you may believe that the NDC demands are, or no matter how you think it's self-serving, considering their stand some time ago and so on. Once it concerns them, a major political party, by now we want to see IPAC meeting on a daily basis. This business of we are demanding this from the NDC and then the Electoral Commission will say we've done this, talking at each other in the media. When you have the IPAC forum, that brings the parties all together, and you can then talk to each other.
Is IPAC not already divided even before they get to the meeting room? Because the MPP has also held a presser on the matter. And if you listen to their position, and even some of the threats should the EC even decide to adhere to the NDC's demands, it's pretty obvious that...
Let's say that the NPP is not aware of the evidence that the NDC has. And indeed, at their press conference, the key call that the NPP made at their press conference was to call for the evidence. So let's even say that all of us, we don't know what the evidence. The IPAC forum would allow you to bring your evidence. And if your evidence is convincing, and then I think I once heard about the NDC saying that there should be some, before they will go to the meeting, there should be media, setting all kinds of preconditions. They also do not help.
That was a meeting with the EC.
They also do not help. We have 2.5 months to the election. We keep forgetting that. It's about 2, and even, is it 3 months? We are in the end of September?
Two months and 2
October,
weeks.
November.
2 months and...
Yeah.
2 months and 10 days.
So really, the window that you have to do anything is just about a month. So we don't have time. So by now, IPAC should be meeting on a daily basis, reviewing evidence, seeing how we can find a middle way. And it surprises me that in the past 3 weeks with all of this agitation and demonstrations and so on, we haven't had IPAC meetings. And so we should urge the Electoral Commission to, as a matter of urgency, convene IPAC quickly.
Okay.
I mean, we can do the politics, what the NDC said in 2016, what the EC said, what somebody said.
It doesn't resolve anything.
We can talk about that and make fun of ourselves and so on. It doesn't resolve anything. You have to sit at the table to be able to decide on the way forward. You have to sit at the table. And luckily for us, we've had this body. And it's strange that in the last 2 weeks, I haven't heard that IPAC has been convened and they are dealing.
Let me pick your mind on something. In view of the proposal you just made, one of the things that I heard Dr. Omanibu Ama raise in terms of what they want the EC to do was to convene a platform where the parties, with their IT professionals, will sit down with the EC and its IT professionals to go through these issues. Is it something that you believe that under the guise of IPAC it ought to be done?
Absolutely.
Or could be done, yeah.
Because when the parties go to IPAC, they will go with their technical people. And if at the meeting they decide that, okay, so let's give the technical people some 2 days to go through and bring a report to us. And so. But look, if IPAC was meeting and some of these decisions were coming out, I can tell you, the temperature will come down. It looks like now this party is saying that, and this party say, we've done it. We don't have any evidence. This party say, no, you haven't done it. We have evidence. You are still, all kinds of accusations flying. Totally unnecessary. For me, I believe that because we're able to cross the 2000 elections, the year 2000 elections, I don't see any election that we cannot cross peacefully. Because in the year 2000, the tension was real. You had a military strongman, Jerry Rawlings, who had had absolute power for over a decade, who was transited to civilian. And at the end of 2000, had been in power for nearly 20 years. And there was genuine doubt that Rawlings was going to sit down for power to go to the opposition. There was genuine doubt. And indeed, many foreigners left the country. And there was advisory means advice to citizens about coming into Ghana at that time. When the Ghanaians were apprehensive. I remember, I don't know if I've told you this story, but when I was a young man contesting for the first time in Okankwe South, you go to places like in North Kaneshie. You do your house tour as you go to the homes of people and so on. And they will tell you, many people will tell you, young man, we like you. You've come to this house, and all of that. We like you. We will vote for you. But as for Kufuor, we can't vote for him. Because we want to vote for Rawlings so he can finish his 2 terms.
And go quiet.
If we don't vote for him and he loses, there will be trouble. And this is North Kaneshie. This is Kaneshie, in the middle of Accra, not some remote area. So even in Ghana, there was palpable fear by the year 2000. But look at what happened. Even in America, in the 2000 was when they had to go to Supreme Court to solve their issues in America. And we were able to do, it was even 2 elections in the year 2000.
Yes.
And we were able to go through the first one. The opposition, the NPP was leading. We went through the second one, the opposition was still leading. And there was and with less than 2 weeks, we managed to handle it. It was just beautiful. And after going through that, I can tell you, all of this thing that we are doing, saber rattling and all of that. But let's bring the temperature down. Let's use the mechanism of IPAC. And I'm surprised that The parties haven't called for it, and the Electoral Commission hasn't convened IPAC. In these 2 months to the election, even in the absence of any controversy, IPAC should be meeting regularly. Even in the absence of any difficulty from any party, meeting regularly, like a week, once a week, just to review progress. So it's a clear omission, as far as I'm concerned, that the mechanism of IPAC has not been used in this current controversy that we're having about the register. I must also remember brings my mind to the ballot.
Yes. Yes.
And I must commend the NDC for their posture over the ballot. Because after the ballot, there was all these
conspiracy theories,
concern about how the NPP could, on the basis of some probability, how the NPP could on 2 occasions, within minutes of each other, pick number one. How could they pick number one out of, is it 13 of or so? Pick number one, the first one, for the sequence of picking for the positions. And then when they pick number one to be the first to pick the positions, then for the positions would they pick number one. So there were all kinds of, and you saw all kinds of videos purporting to show that there was some switch. You see the videos, you couldn't see any switch. I saw 2 angles of the video, one from the side and one from the back of the where the delegations were, the party reps were sitting. Even the one from the back, very close to the NPP people, you couldn't see any switch. The man who picked the ballot showed it to his boss, Mark Menu, and then he raised his hand to show that he was happy. When you look at it from the angle, the other one that came from the side, when the NPP man, Evans Dimako, picked the ballot, and he came and sat down and showed it to McMahon. And then the second person was the Liberal Party. Is it Apalu? Apalu hadn't even come to sit down, and you could see the NPP man raising his hand in the excitement. But with all of that, the NDC came out clearly. I heard the General Secretary come out to say the process was fair. I think I also heard, I didn't hear him, but I saw some reports. These days, you can't be too sure of these reports, but I saw some report. He hasn't been denied of Omani Boama saying that it was completely.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. I didn't see the video. I just read the report. And these days, you have to be very careful of what you do read online.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't true, I'm sure Omani Boama would have come out. So, of course, Apalu himself has come out to say it is ridiculous that why would they think he would have won number one and so on. But it shows you that when we're all sitting at the table and all of us can see what is going on, it will be difficult for controversies to arise. Because the NDC was there, and they could also see what was going on. So when some people try to show, make us believe that there was some conspiracy, the NDC was there at the table. They could clearly see that no, that wasn't the case. So my conclusion is that let's urge the Electoral Commission.
Talking about reducing the temperature, let me pick your views on what has happened with the recent demonstration. The Democracy Hub people, they went on the demo. We saw some unfortunate scenes. There appeared to have been a blockade of one of the major roads at a point, and then the very popular video now of one of their leaders, former war, taking off the key in the ignition of the tow truck and then throwing it on the floor after taking off and all that. Arrest of people. They were detained in various cells. Lawyers couldn't have access to them. Initially, they claimed that the police was not cooperative in terms of telling them where the people were and all that. Long and short, they were in custody for 2 days. They were arraigned before court, and then the judge remands them in custody for 2 more weeks. We've also seen the charges that were filed on day one. There's unlawful assembly and I think defacing of public billboards and all that. That obviously enraged your party supporters, especially the youth wing. And the leader of the youth also issued threats on social media, actually massed up some supporters to go and do a counter. Unfortunately, the counter didn't happen because the other group also did not turn up for the thing. Yes.
There was no show.
Yes. What do you make of all of this?
No, I mean, clearly the organizers of the demonstration were at fault. There's no debate about it. We all saw the videos. I think you are showing one of them now. I mean, look at it. Look at the gentleman going. Is that Zebomayo?
Yes.
Look at him. Now, we must commend the Ghana police because they were very restrained. The provocation was just too much. The people had, on their own, closed roads leading to the hospital. And they were turning the public away from using that road. The demonstrators, they had given themselves the power to close roads. And they were telling people, we won't let you pass here. I heard a story of one family who were taking food and some medicine that they had been asked to buy. And they were taking it to their relatives at the hospital. And they were not allowed by the demonstrators. So they had to go and park at Accra Girls, which is about clearly some 2.5 kilometers away, and walk to the hospital. You know, so, and then you saw them setting fire to NPP flags on the streets. These are public roads. And you set fire on the streets. And then what they did to the police car. So the provocation was too much, clearly. And the Ghana police must be commended for the restraint. We've heard that, we've known the police to have to react against demonstrators on much less provocation. These provocations were extreme. How the police could have allowed them to block roads, setting fire on the streets, and taking their, even when they went and seized the man went and seized the key and was running away. You didn't see the police running after him. He himself was just running away. The provocation was too much, and we must commend the police for the restraint that they had. Now, the aftermath. There's a belief that the two weeks remand is a bit too much. That's the view of people. I mean, I also would have wished that they had a lesser remand period. If it, I mean, the way our cells are, Charlie, even 2 days, 3 days.
Well, they have already been there for 2 days.
Okay.
And to think of it, the initial charges really were about misdemeanor. You know, and this is what I've been in for 2 days already.
I am sure the judge, because Randy, when you look at the videos, they are really provocative. I'm sure the judge looked at the videos and was quite incensed. But these people too should conduct themselves better. In fact, your best ally in your demonstration is the public. It's the public. And then you see one of the videos, there was some chap who was running commentary and calling people animals for not joining them. And it was just too provocative. You know, and the organizers must be really ashamed of their conduct. And they call themselves Democracy Hub. Well, you know, what an irony. They call themselves Democracy Hub. your demonstration is your democratic right. Other people's right to movement is also their democratic right. And you chose to curtail their democratic right of movement by blocking roads and telling them in the face that they can go and burn the sea. You won't allow them free movement. And yet you call yourself democracy hub. So as for the misbehavior, in fact, gross misconduct of the demonstrator, there's no debate about it. And the police were very restrained under the circumstances. The judge ruled that they should be given. Can there be some appeal? This one, by the time you go and finish your appeal and all of that, the 2 weeks before they are over. You know. But the trial should be speedy. The trial should be speedy. And if it's some fine or whatever, will be imposed. But that is it. I think the previous day or 2 days before, the NDC held a much bigger demonstration across the country. What was across the country? Was it?
Yeah, all 16 regions.
And we didn't see anything close to what we saw in the with the so-called democracy hub thing. Huge numbers across the country. I don't know if it's because of the numbers that went, they were not happy with the numbers, that's why they chose to provoke the police, for the police to attack them, so that would be the news. I don't know, but the provocation was too deliberate. And listen to the commentary. We won't allow you, you are a part of the problem. Why haven't you, if you had come to join us, you know, and calling people, describing them as animals. And this is a hospital. How do you block a road to a hospital? So, in tree, they say, whilst you're advising the fish or cattle, so you should also advise the stinking. I would have wished that they gave them some lesser. But this thing is, the judgment has already been given. But if you say you're going to appeal, by the time you finish the appeal, the 2 weeks are over. But the trial should be speedy, so that they can, you know, we can have justice.
Right. Zamama, what are you bringing in?
Yeah, Doc, I would also begin with the Electoral Commissioner's statement. And to be very honest with you, this Electoral Commission has to be told in the face that they are toying with the stability and the peace of our country. Their levels of disregard for the intelligence of the Ghanaian people, their duplicity, their incompetence, their utter contempt for the history of that great institution before they are coming to occupy those positions has to be called out in no uncertain terms. I can't believe the statement the Electoral Commission issued. In reading this statement, I can't believe it.
Why?
Look at page 4 of Jane Mensah's statement. She says that, quote, "We certainly do not require external assistance in our line of work." Can you believe that? This is the same Jane Mensah who, as IEA boss, on the 28th of October 2015, issued a communique under the caption, "Engage independent body to audit voters register." Jane Mensah, let me read on. This is published online. It's on various portals, from Peace FM Online to Ghana Web. A communique at the end of the Institute of Economic Affairs organized debate on whether or not to replace the voters register has asked the Electoral Commission to show proactiveness and leadership by engaging the services of a competent, credible, and external organization to audit the electoral roll. External organization. Today, you issue a statement telling us that you certainly do not need any external support. The communique continues. The communique, which was signed by IEA Executive Director Jean Mensa, pointed out that though Article 46 of the National Constitution protects the EC from direction or control, it is nevertheless accountable to the citizens because it is a public organization which draws its funds from the consolidated fund. It was also agreed, according to the communique, that, quote, there are irregularities with the current voters' register. All stakeholders must work towards a consensus position on addressing these irregularities. The two main schools of thought on how to resolve the problem of illegal entries in the register are not mutually exclusive, unquote. Purging the register will ultimately result in a new register, while compiling a new register will rely on some existing data from the old register. The communique explained and added that what is critical is that the final output of this exercise must be a voters' register with an acceptable margin of error, unquote. Jean Mensa, her own signed communique on the 28th of October 2015, calling on the then Charlotte Osei-led Electoral Commission to subject the voters' register to an independent audit, to bring in an external body to build trust. So what has changed? Why this hypocrisy? Why this double standard? Why can't we have an electoral commissioner who can just be principled and stand by positions that she has taken in time past? Look, if Jean Mensa is totally new to this field and just arrived to this position, has not held views, put out communiques, issued statements, taking on previous electoral commissioners, we could probably spare her that, she really doesn't know what she's talking about, takes a different view of Article 46 of the Constitution, so let's cut her some slack. But that is not the case. All your statements are available online. Positions that you took. Today, you issue a statement that everybody calling for an independent audit does not understand Article 46. Meanwhile, at the time, you said that, look, even though Article 46 makes the commission independent, it is a public entity. It must build public trust, public confidence. It draws resources from the consolidated fund. It is the taxpayers, the people, who take care of the commissions and pay for the commission's work. And so they must be accountable to the people. What has changed? What has changed? Meanwhile, you go through this statement and Doc, the levels of incompetence is shocking. Page 5 of this statement, discrepancies in the voters' transfer. It says, in your petition, talking about the NDC petition, you indicated that some 243,540 voters were transferred illegally on the provisional voters register. You allege that the said transfers were without the participation of the voters. Then this is their response. We wish to state that the transfers were legal. During a press conference on 2nd September 2024, the Commission explained that the 2024 absent voters list and the transfer voters list provided to the political parties inadvertently included all transfers undertaken since 2020, hence the higher expected figures. Can you believe this? And then they say, this has been corrected. So every discrepancy, every anomaly that the NDC identified, you go through this statement, they confirm it, and they say inadvertently.
So that's the purpose of the...
How can we trust this commission?
That's the purpose of the exhibition.
Why should the commission depend on the NDC? If the NDC had not been vigilant, if the Dr. Mani Buama-led Electoral IT Directorate had not been vigilant, where would we be? How would we have known this? Let me continue. It says on Pusiga, we acknowledge that our officer in Pusiga carried out 38 unauthorized transfers. The said transfers have been reversed and the officer's appointment has been terminated. So we should accept it and move on and not have an audit of the register? When every single item...
They move on to tell you that they have systems inherent, they have processes inherent in their system which would have detected this anyway.
Please, please. They should tell that to the Marines. You should tell that to the Marines. Unidentifiable and missing voter data. The NDC alleges that 3,957 voters previously registered were deleted from the 2024 provisional register without explanation. We wish to state categorically that the alleged missing voters have not been deleted. They are either on the voters register or on one of the following lists of the exceptions list. Can you believe that? Telling us probabilities.
Where should they be?
Thank you very much. That's what the EC should be telling us. They are either on the voters register or one of the following lists or the exception list or on the multiple list or the transfer list. I mean, what incompetence. And you want us to trust you going into such a major election with these shocking levels of incompetence, of gross ineptitude. You want us to trust you. It says that, look, corrupt and incomplete data. The production of the provisional voters register cannot be perfect. It involves the retrieval of data from a database and formatting it into a register that is presented to the public. In the extraction of the data, network errors may occur and lead to the corruption of data, which is then expressed in the PVR. This did occur in the production of the PVR. However, this was detected and the affected registers were promptly regenerated during the exhibition. I mean, what a commission. Are we safe? And we all know that a credible register is a sine qua non in any electoral system. It's so fundamental. It is absolutely crucial. And you have this EC, I mean, admitting to everything and giving us all kinds of cock and bull excuses why this occurred. And then they want us that after all of this, that we should trust you. And listen to them at page 8. It says, whilst the commission is not opposed to undertaking another fiscal exhibition of the corrected PVR in the 40,000 plus exhibition centers, given the time it takes to print and distribute the PVR, 3 to 4 weeks, it will not be feasible to achieve this due to the limited time to the general election. The commission intends to implement an online exhibition of the PVR at no cost to registered voters. And this is the more annoying part. Voters will be able to report on anomalies with their details within a time frame to be made available to the public. They are going to make that available to the public later. And how are we going to monitor this online exhibition? The reason why we do an exhibition physically in the manner in which we do it is that it allows for all parties. We are all having copies of the register. We are all present. We can all monitor real time and see what is being done, who has come with an issue and how it is being corrected. If it is done online, how can we police the process? And you see, elections are about trust. They're about public confidence. We have never done an online registration. What this Jim Mensah, Bosman Asari, and the MPP foot soldier Apiahini led Electoral Commission are asking us to do are things that have never been heard of, never been done in our country. They are playing with fire. They are jeopardizing our peace and stability. And they ought to be told in very, very clear language that this will not be countenanced. This will not be tolerated. Look, if you read their own conclusion of their statement, they say that the commission takes this opportunity to assure the NDC and the general public that it has largely resolved the discrepancies. Largely. We all understand some basic English. largely is not we have authoritatively, categorically resolved the issues. Largely. And you want us to go into such a crucial election, such a defining election, where the soul of our country is at stake. And you see, it is not in the interest of Jane Mensah. It's not in her interest that we will carry this her load of incompetence, of mismanagement, of ineptitude, after all of these admissions, with officials complicit, some of whom have been sacked. And I don't know why they should only be sacked and not prosecuted. That Pusiga official, why has he only been terminated and asked to go home? Democracy Hub demonstrators are not cooling off at home. A lot of them were innocent bystanders. So why is this Pusiga official, who clearly everything shows that these transfers were illegally done, why is he cooling off at home? No prosecution. Why? Look, Jane Mensah must be very, very careful. And I will urge all fair-minded Ghanaians. Already I have heard the Christian Council, I've heard the Peace Council, I have heard the respected former Supreme Court Judge, Justice Atuguba, call on the Electoral Commission to stop these shenanigans. And I think that we need to hear more voices from moral society. Clearly, for us in the NDC, it is time to activate stage 2. Remember, we announced that after the regional demonstrations, if we do not get a favorable response from the Electoral Commission, we will activate stage 2. I will urge the party's National Executive Committee and the Functional Executive Committee to quickly meet and activate stage 2. We are ready on the ground as parliamentary candidates, ready with our troops and ready to comply with the instructions from the party's leadership. Clearly, this is not an electoral commission which should be allowed to plunge this country into disaster. We were just discussing a while ago the devastating consequences of war. And if you look at our continent, all the disputed elections which have led to full-blown conflict, it has been because of the register. Clearly, there was an attempt to rig the 2024 elections, which has been exposed. They have been caught, pants down, and they are refusing to eat humble pie. We are not going to allow that you are going to put this online. Meanwhile, we know the things you have done at your IT department. We know the people heading that IT department. A department that has been infused with party hacks. We are not going to accept that. How do you expect my constituents in places like Blonu, Niflapo, Agbetipo, places like Deva, talking about island communities, the furthermost part of the earth, as the Bible will put it, where there is no network, no internet. Come to Deva, come to Nyatipo, come to Ayiwata, Blonu, and the others. Island communities, far to reach communities. And there are many, many communities in Ghana. If you're a rural MP, you know what I'm talking about. Even in parts of urban Ghana, network challenges. The EC itself is saying that we should forgive them for some of their woes because of network challenges. You heard me read that. Now they are saying that they are going to put the register online. I mean, are these people reasoning? What do they take us for? Where is logic? Where is common sense in the work they are doing? What do they take us for? So these communities without internet, without network, how do they check online? How? So all of those people, millions of Ghanaians, should be cut off ab initio. They are cut off from the electoral process. Totally cut off. Because of the incompetence, ineptitude. You have been so incompetent, so you say now you don't have time. It takes 3 to 4 weeks to print out the register. You don't have time. Look, they better do it. I believe that now in modern printing, if they call parties to the table, and I agree with Nana Akomia, that look, they should stop this posturing and being far afield and issuing statements.
Let's find out.
Convene the platform.
Let's find out.
I am sure that they can be printed.
Let's find out if the Honorable Alan Martin is providing the solution.
Yes,
for this.
I read
Nana
his
alluded
statement.
to IPAC.
Yes.
But then IPAC will not include the other persons on the ballot who are not political parties.
Yes.
And so we know that about 4 or 5 of the contestants
independent.
They are independent candidates. So this is what he wrote to the Electoral Commission on the 23rd of September. Says, "Dear Electoral Commissioner, I write for and on behalf of Honorable Alan Martin, independent presidential candidate, founder and leader of the Movement for Change, an Alliance for Revolutionary Change. The M4C and ARC have noted with deep concern reports of compromised data in respect of the current voters registered that the Electoral Commission is preparing for the 2024 general election. The EC has accepted the authenticity of reports of poor data control and has indicated that they are currently conducting an internal exercise to rectify the anomalies under reference. In spite of the Commission's efforts, the manner and process of remedial action remains in serious public contention. Therefore, given the integrity of the impending elections primarily rests on the functional quality of the voters register, M4C proposes the following measures in support of securing universal acceptability of the voters register. 1. The establishment of a high-level technical working group chaired by the EC with representatives of candidates cleared to contest the general elections and the consultants responsible for the EC data management. 2. The technical working group would agree on the process and the procedures for a full and comprehensive audit of the current voter register based on the following source documents. A. The final 2020 voters register. B. Limited registration information since 2021. C. Voter transfer effected since 2021. And D. Special voters list since 2020 to date. Each member of the technical working group ought to be provided access to original copies of the listed source documents and facilitated to determine the veracity of the entries in the said documents. 4. Representatives of candidates cleared to contest the general elections who have written evidence of any compromised data in respect of the current voter register are required to submit same to all members of the technical working group before the start of the audit process. 5. The final outcome of the collaborative comparative process will be deemed to be the final voters register for the conduct of the 2024 general elections. The proposed process outlined above mirrors a forensic audit being advocated for by a section of the Ghanaian public, and not to come up with a voters register acceptable to all contestants and voters in the upcoming 2024 general elections. The timeline proposed for the exercise is from 30th September 2024 to the 11th of October 2024. This will enable the EC to release the final voters register by the 14th of October 2024. M4C and ARC believe that approaching the resolution of the doubts around the voters register in such a joint manner ensures transparency of intent that will settle any lingering issues around the voters register and position the country for a free, fair, and transparent and credible general elections on December 7th, 2024. We appreciate your response to the above proposal by Friday, 27th of September, 2024. With very best regards, Nana Oheninto, Director, Elections Planning and Coordination, Movement for Change. And distribution list, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, Dr. Daniel Augustus Latte Jr., Madam Ekuya Donko, Mr. Christian Kwabena Andrews, Mr. Kofi Apalu, Alhaji Mohammed Frimpong, Nana Akosua Frimpoma, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, Mr. Hassan Abdullah Yariga, Mr. Kofi Krantin, Mr. George Chumberima, Nana Kwame Bediaku, and Mr. Alan John Kojo Chiremati. So this is the proposal from Movement for Change, represented by Mr. Alan Chiremati.
Very sensible proposal, if you ask me, and it's really
with timelines.
It's and it's really in line with what the NDC has called.
I think he has expanded
the
IPAC thing to include all those, because obviously once the EC has made a determination of who are eligible to contest the election and has gone ahead with a ballot and all that, any exercise that also excludes these persons who have a right in the election is also okay.
And you see, I keep asking, if you have nothing to hide, this opening up, who stands to benefit the most? Isn't it the Electoral Commission? All of this opening up, Alan Chiremati's brilliant proposal. NDC has said, look, if you like, even bring the UNESCO guys, the UNDP guys, pardon me, or any other independent body. We've had a situation in this country where VCRAC CRA,
the panel,
chair the panel to do a similar exercise. So, I mean, if you have nothing to hide, this in your favor. It's in your best interest. So, I mean, you just can't fathom. Why should this be controversial? Why should the EC erect a Chinese wall, a barricade? That was such a commonsensical thing. You just can't. You think about it, and as the young people, the Gen Z says, it busts your mind. It's mind busting. You can't believe what is going on.
All right, we'll be back shortly.
Do you know someone who's making a difference in your community? Someone whose selfless actions and dedication to helping others deserves recognition? Then it's time to celebrate these incredible individuals on MTN Heroes of Change.
It's time to nominate those selfless individuals to win 100,000 Ghana cedis and other cash prizes and be crowned MTN Hero of Change. You can also nominate a blogger or someone in the digital space and any of the media houses to win our new category of Digital Hero and Media Hero of Change. Just fill an online nomination form at mtn.com.gh or send a WhatsApp with a 1-minute video of your nominee's project on 055 141 1122. Deadline for nominations is 18th October 2024, so don't waste time. Nominate your hero now.
MTN Heroes of Change. Be the change you wish to see.
Experience the enhanced protection of Star Motor Third Party Extra from Star Assurance, an enhanced motor third party insurance policy that provides cover for loss or damage to your vehicle's windscreens, side mirrors, back glass, and other glass components. Whether it's a crack or major damage, you can drive with the assurance that your vehicle is well protected. Our commitment to you includes affordable coverage options and a claims process that is both fast and straightforward, so you spend less time dealing with paperwork and more time on the road. Also, we have proudly partnered with Hope for Little Lives, an organization dedicated to supporting children in need. By choosing Star Motor Third Party Extra, you're protecting your vehicle and making a positive impact. Every policy you buy helps bring joy and support to children in underserved communities. Reach out to us now on our toll-free numbers 0800 177 177 or 0302 245 906 to sign up. Let us help you drive with peace of mind and purpose. Star Motor Third Party Extra. Drive with confidence, give back with heart.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
Using Koa Mixture, Koa Plus Mixture, and Koa MT Mixture, brought to you by Koa Research and Manufacturing Limited Company, proudly made in Ghana. Formulated to support your general well-being. For those seeking immune system support, there is Koa Plus Mixture. Support your body's defenses and stay strong. When it comes to combating malaria, Koa MT Mixture will aid your treatments. For effective relief from malaria symptoms, try Koa MT Mixture. Koa Mixture, Koa Plus Mixture, and Koa MT Mixture are not recommended for pregnant women, lactating mothers, and children under 12 years. Always take a malaria test before using Koa MT Mixture. Choose Koa Mixture, Koa Plus Mixture, and Koa MT Mixture for your health needs. Available now at pharmacies nationwide. For bulk purchases, contact 0244 726611 or 0591 565 778. This advert is
in today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200 535 515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Choose the perfect prize every week and stand to win your choice of exciting prizes. All to get more of what matters to you. Exclusive to Betway. Betway, get way more. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18.
Welcome to Rehoboth Palms, Ayimensa, where your future home is taking shape. Discover a community like no other, designed for families and individuals seeking comfort and connection. Enjoy a host of amenities, including a swimming pool, tennis courts, kids playground, and serene sitting areas, all designed for your enjoyment. Embrace the opportunity to be part of this vibrant community with flexible installment plans available. Your dream home is waiting at Rehoboth Palms, Ayimensa, where every moment is a promise of home and affordable luxury. Visit us today at 145 North Legon, Accra. Call us on +233 244 764 499 or +233 204 950 810. For our UK clients, you can reach us on +44 190 853 3149 or +44 791 737 6631 or visit www.rehobothpropertiesgh.com to learn more. A community like no other. Welcome to Rehoboth Ayimensa.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. 8K. Hey, you get an 8K. Get a packing so you have to come out. Hey, wait.
You go put it on his tab. This is my man.
Good luck. We'll wait here. We have star 712. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Oh.
Let's choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
Maybe straight to option 4. You need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets. I'm choosing random ticket. Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and buy you.
With your body,
Hey,
there are. Tread cautiously. Now follow the prompts and confirm. Now the luckiest
The Luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. T&Cs apply.
Blue Jeans Energy Drink.
How can we solve the unemployment crisis in Ghana? Yes, Massa.
By using formula 133.
Can you expatiate?
Say, this simply means 1 job, 3 shifts, 3 people. That is the Mahama 24-hour economy policy. Under this policy, businesses will be given tax incentives, cheaper electricity, financial support, and security support services to encourage them to work 24/7 by adopting 3 work shifts of 8 hours each. This will triple job opportunities in the country. This policy will boost production, increase productivity, and generate well-paying jobs in all participating businesses and public organizations.
Excellent. The 24-hour policy will be a game changer.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Still with me, I have Nana Kumi and Samuel Kujoto at Blackwell. But with Betway, you're guaranteed to get more chances to play. Betway's Pick Your Prize lets you choose your preferred promotion to make the perfect sports bet every week, from payout boost to cashback. Plus, you will also stand a chance to choose your own prize, from vouchers to electronics and the grand prize of an airline ticket. Visit betway.com.gh to find out more. Terms and conditions apply. This is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way. Betway, get way more. And enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. The pains of climbing the stairs while not exercising could be challenging irrespective of your age, but worry no more. Lift and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices, and guess what? You can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakumono, or just call them on 0200535515 or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movement. Okay.
Yeah, look, I need to do the dedication, the Democracy Hub.
Quickly, so
yes.
we can round up on the EC and move on.
Yes, very, very quickly.
Okay.
So let's be clear. Ghana is a democratic state. Every citizen has the right to demonstrate. Indeed, I remember my first demonstration with very fond memories. It's an 18-year-old participating in the Mobrawa demonstrations of 1998. And it's really shocking that a lot of these demonstrations always end in brutalities. You have excess force at play. And from the Mobrawa struggle demonstration of 1998, where we were demonstrating against cost sharing, which we called cost shifting. And a student activist demanded that cost shifting be stopped and that education should remain a right under Article 25 of the Constitution. It should not be a privilege, and that there was clearly an attempt to make education an elitist commodity, which leaves out, ordinary folks. It turned out to be quite bloody. Then I recall the CJ demonstrations that we did, where the likes of Daniel Furiata, never really recovered after those brutalities. And I recall the Let My Vote Count demonstration in recent years, where unfortunately somebody lost an eye. So the Ghana Police Service has not covered itself in glory, historically, when it comes to policing demonstrations, because they're just supposed to protect demonstrators and protect those civilians who are not participating and make sure that the general law and order is preserved. But over the years, over the decades, the Ghana Police Service, and this has led to many police reforms. There's been many reports about how to really transform the police service from that booga, Gestapo image into a more responsible, a more friendly force, so that it can enhance police-civilian relations. So it's been a long-standing challenge. And look, even though some of the scenes are worrying, and I would not endorse Bakavoma's conduct, going to remove the key. I mean, what has that got to do with the demonstration? It's a very important demonstration. I mean, we all support, look, those engaged in this Galamsey business, I have said here, time without number, that they are engaged in mass murder. They ought to be stopped. These are killers. We have to say it as it is. People are dying because of their reckless greed. So we all support the demonstration. I mean, why deviate and go into these excesses? It's totally needless. And you give those who want to be high-handed an opportunity.
And in fact, instead of us discussing the demonstration and what it stood for,
and what it stood for,
we are discussing the excesses
and the aftermath. Really, really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. And you see, there is a clear distinction between activism and anarchism. So we have activists and we have anarchists. Clear distinction. They are not the same. So some of these demonstrators will have to come clear. Are they activists? Are they Democrats? Or they are anarchists? And under the Ghanaian constitution, under the 1992 constitution, let's be blunt, there is no space for anarchists. So it is really a needless destruction. But be that as it may, the response must still be on the scale, in the balance. It has to be commensurate.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, the response by authorities is high-handed. I am on all fours with former President Mahama, who put out a statement yesterday, including Professor Nana Jinapoko-Ejima, and all the many others who are saying that this is high-handedness. I totally agree with them. And the vast majority. And you see, saying that this is high-handed, saying that this is excessive use of force and abuse of power, does not mean that you necessarily condone the excesses of this demonstration. I have said that clearly some of the things we saw borders on anarchy. And I mean, I like to see myself as an activist and not an anarchist. And so clearly I cannot condone that. And all of those who have said that this is high-handed, that it doesn't mean that they support what has happened in terms of the excesses. But you see, let's be honest. The sheer violations of the rights of these people. I mean, Doc, I have seen clear accounts, bystanders. These are videos of it when they were sent to court. Bystanders who were not participating. There's a video of this young man clad in all white who says that he was just returning from church. There has been a video of another elderly woman who's just a bystander. So how were these people rounded up? And why are they being kept? Then I have seen evidence of people being denied their medication. You know, people being denied their medication. There's an asthmatic patient from the evidence I have here at the Kaneshi police station being denied her inhalers. You know, so what is going on? Is there an attempt to harm these people, to kill these people? So the excesses cannot be accepted. You see, so as we condemn the excesses on the part of the demonstrators, we need to also condemn the excesses on the part of the Ghana Police Service.
I thought the police was restrained.
No, they are not. They are not being restrained. What they are doing, denying people access to their medications. You know, arresting people who have nothing to do. Fortunately, all of these things have been on video. We can all see those who have questions.
So this little girl, was she accompanying a grandmother or something?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, why was that 8-year-old arrested? Why? Why do you arrest an 8-year-old? You know, people who...
The old lady was holding a galamsey water.
Yes, and this old lady did not, in all the videos I have seen, she was not part of those who were fomenting trouble. She didn't bend down anything. She didn't vandalize any property. She engaged in a peaceful protest. Why pick the old lady up? Why subject Granny to that kind of treatment? Why? So the police has been totally excessive. And that is why on social media, the international community, I've seen the news reports, you know, filed by Mado of CNN and others, who are totally shocked at what is happening in Ghana. They can't believe it.
Our information minister is not happy with
you. You know, no, but I mean, why is she not happy? I mean, when everybody can see what is happening, everybody is seeing the accounts. People, bystanders, old ladies, children, who had done absolutely nothing wrong. People being denied their medications. They are not being sent to hospital and all of that. So these excesses, this brute force, these Gestapo activities have to stop. And then 2 weeks of remand, and everybody, including the bystanders, including people returning from church and all of that. Why? Why all this? You see, one gets the impression that those in power think that, look, this is an opportunity to show them pepper, show them real force. Let the youth of this country know that if you dare, we can clamp down and come after you. Look, it doesn't work. You should take it from me. It doesn't work. It rather hardens the youth. Have they seen how they have rather activated young people? Go on social media. See what has been trending over the last days. The youth are becoming more conscious. This is not going to cow anybody into submission. It's not going to intimidate anybody. And if they don't stop it, the next demonstration will be far bigger They can't contain it. And you see, this is how it started elsewhere, in other countries, in Kenya and all of that. Initially, Ruto was calling the youth armed robbers, pickpockets, criminals, hoodlums. When the entire youth were galvanized and said, look, if you think that you can criminalize and kill, let's see if you can kill all of us. Kenya could not contain it. We don't want that. Nobody wants that. So the commander-in-chief, the IGP, and all of those in the national security apparatus of our country have to be called to order. And you see, Doc, in all of this discussion, as we condemn the high-handedness, I have been asking myself, where is this formidable Ghana Police Service? Where is this formidable national security apparatus that can clamp down, that can descend upon innocent civilians? Where are they at the Galamsey sites? Where are they? Where is all of this power? All this brute force? Where is it? As we speak, the turbidity levels are worsening. Apart from the Volta River, all the other rivers are gone. Where is this brute force? This macho, this Gestapo, this mighty power that is being exhibited here in Accra? This is not where the action is. This is not where we need them. We want our river bodies protected, our forests protected. Ghanaians have been calling for a state of emergency, a ban on all forms of mining, because the level of devastation, the mass murder going on. And then we can't find these people. They are spending all their force on 8-year-olds, on grannies. Can you believe that? 8-year-olds, grannies. Meanwhile, the real mass murderers, the Galamsey kingpins, are having a field day. Field day. The last time there was a video of an MPP parliamentary candidate who even told people that, look, if you see these security personnel coming around, attack them. You saw the Western Regional Minister saying that, look, nobody is to come anywhere near the Galamsey. They have stopped Operation Galam Stop. Operation Galam Stop has been stopped. So they shouldn't come anywhere near. Meanwhile, in Parliament, we are approving monies for these people. And you've seen, Doc, the work I have been doing on the licenses that are still being given out to these Galamsey operatives, like there is no tomorrow. I have concluded the analysis on the Ghana mining repository. And Doc, will you believe that from the mining repository, Nana, this will interest you. Since 1988 to 2016, only 96 licenses were issued.
You told us this couple
No,
of
no,
weeks
the last one was just, that one was 2008, 2009 to 2016. Now I've gone back to the beginning of the repository, 1988.
Yeah, but that's fine. But I'm wondering, Randy, so you didn't ask your guest about this, the licenses?
The licenses regime.
No, we couldn't get to that.
Okay.
We couldn't get
But
to
you'll be
because
good
the last time Sammy talked about it, we
yeah,
said
we couldn't
that
get we couldn't get to that.
So will you believe that from 1988 to 2016, 96 licenses. 96. From 2017 to now, 1,503. So this is 1988 to 2016. This is it. And this is 2016. I saw, since I put out this analysis, I saw one Zigomado or so say that, oh, experts say that give out more licenses. When you give out more licenses,
Yeah, bring them.
it brings them
under the regulatory
It brings them
regime.
under regulation, and so it enhances. That will have made sense if, after bringing all of these people, we are not seeing this distraction. What do these people take us for? That Gomado or whoever
the retrogression defeats that argument.
Totally defeats that. No logic, no common sense in that write-up people.
Unless you want to say that your regulatory regime does not have the capacity.
Yes.
And if you do not have the capacity, why do you take on more load?
Yes. Because, you see, the second point I was going to make is that I haven't seen, because when you are issuing all of these massive licenses, you need to show that you have capacity to really monitor.
So that's how come,
to supervise.
So that's how come the Minerals Commission tells us they are opening more offices. Yeah. They are recruiting more men.
You are now
they are sending more men.
Yes.
They have more people there.
Yes.
More whatever there. But at the end
of the day, it's clearly not adequate.
Yes. At the end of the day, I think that where we are now,
and we should come before there. Shouldn't you build the capacity, have your offices and all of before you issue licenses like this?
I mean, what I think is that what we have now is not the absence of the regulators at the place. If we take the Konongo one, for example, you have the district director of mines. We are told that he presented a report. The security agencies are aware. The Minerals Commission itself is aware. The ministry is aware. Yet, what is happening is happening. It tells you that what is happening is beyond the regulatory agency itself.
Yeah.
I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter whether we have 2 million geologists or engineers or whatever at a particular place. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And you see, as I continue to track these licenses and the kind of mining they are engaging, will you believe that I have discovered that the same ambulance cabal, the presidential daughter's ambulance cabal, they are neck deep in all of this mining going on.
Oh, how?
Take it from me. I have all the documents here. Neck deep. I have the incorporation documents here. Believe it. Elite Minerals Ghana Limited.
Maybe they're providing ambulances for the mining areas. There are a lot of casualties.
Oh la la.
There are a lot of casualties.
They
supply ambulances.
But Samia,
they procured the inflated ambulances, and then they were going to do the ambulance papers.
What
the 34.9.
What cabal are you talking about?
Alvin Mensah, that same cabal. Alvin Mensah. He is Ghana Auto Company Limited, and then also BEFT Engineering. So they use Ghana Auto Company Limited to procure, and then BEFT Engineering for the ambulance spare parts deal. Those same guys, that same cabal.
So what's the name?
The presidential daughters cabal. So this time, they've incorporated Elite Mining.
Elite.
And they are giving
E-L-I-T-E.
E-L-I-T-E. Okay. And they are giving them licenses like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
The latest one, 22nd March 2024.
This year?
Yes. The code is RML/5/9 volume 2. This one expires in 2036 to go and mine in the Kwabi Brim forest in the eastern region. And I've been there. I have the photos
that's
there.
Close to home?
Yes, I've been there.
You've been in that forest?
I went there. I went undercover. Been there. I have the photos here. And the kind of the devastation they've left.
This is what this company is
doing?
doing?
Elite. Yes. In the Achim Techiman area. Yes, Elite.
And
then...
No, Sam, what you are showing us is just photos. So.
Yes.
Where's the
photos?
So their concession. This is what
they're the concession.
Yes. Of their concession.
Yes. And if you go on the Ghana Mining Repository, it's there. They are the concession. Their area, where the zone in the Kwabi Brim forest. The river Pram is going through there. Then 28 November 2023, they were given another license at the Bonsa, Prestia, Huni Valley area, the western region.
Same company.
Expires 2053. Then they have a third license for lithium, this time for lithium. So they are going beyond. They don't do only gold. 11th July 2023, in the Gomoa Ingresi, Ekumfi, and Gomoa West, all in the central region. Then they attempted to get a fourth license. They wanted an exclusive concession of the Volta region salt.
Exclusive?
Yes.
They don't want anybody?
Yes. Then the chiefs of the Somek Traditional Council protested, fired a strongly worded statement when they saw the Gazette notification. And that is what has stalled it. So even though they had some preliminary, approval, that has stalled it. So they haven't been able to move in. Thanks to the courageous chiefs of the Somek Traditional, they will have had gold, lithium, salt in the Volta region. Same guys. Same guys. Indeed, if you look at the directors of Elite Mining, they are Awo Mensah and Alvin Mensah. Awo Mensah is Edwin Akufo-Addo's business partner for Insonam. They set up Insonam together, the Insonam restaurant.
You are sure of that?
Yeah, yes. I have the Insonam
sir.
incorporation documents here. Insonam here, it's here. Incorporated 6 August 2020. Insomnam.
As in water from the sea.
Yes.
But with Galamsey, how do you get fish from the water?
Good question. And the directors are here. Awo Mensah, Edwin Akufo-Addo.
Okay.
Yes. And
this from where?
Registrar Generals. Yeah. Yeah. I have all the documents. I mean, the same guys.
Lie.
I mean, and now you can see why the president appears impotent, incapacitated. And these guys, you talk to the chiefs in the community, the devastation they have left behind. This force that the Ghana Police Service is using on 8-year-olds, grannies. Why is elite mining? And elite, this is just the beginning. I'm tracking them in some other area too. I'm serving notice. Ghanaians will be shocked. They say presidential daughters cabal. So presidential sweethearts doing sweetheart deals and just messing all of us up. Now, you know what even annoys me in this whole affair? I have intercepted their tax records. You hear government pro-Galamsey propaganda say that, oh, the economy will collapse. They create some doomsday that, hey, mining, the money we are making from mining, if you ban all forms of mining. So I said, okay, maybe these elite guys, they're probably giving us some elite money. So let me go and check. Will you believe, I'll give you a call, you are very good with crunching numbers. Will you believe that between 2021 and 2024, they have, in terms of revenues accumulated, 53.8 million cedis. The only year they pay taxes was for 2023. This year, they only pay taxes this year. And even that, just 132,000 cedis.
Well, you know, you pay tax on profits.
They were making profits, but they were not paying. And actually they were fined for refusing to pay. You see every year, 2021, they were fined and they've had to pay penalty. You see, penalty 2021, 2022, they had to pay penalties. You see, they were not even paying until a lot of the noise started. They were not filing. Yes. So they
but
paid.
now they've been paid.
So they've only paid 132,000 cedis, way below what they are supposed to pay. They owe Ghana money.
But
This
who
company.
who assessed them?
The GRA.
And the GRA assessed them below what they should be paying?
No. They were not. I mean, they were not.
But they are elite.
They were simply not paid.
But if they paid penalties, it means that they paid the taxes too. Or they haven't paid.
So
it could be a penalty for not filing.
Penalty for not filing.
So maybe registered,
yes.
not
So
filing.
after that, then you have to file.
So it's only now.
Anyway.
It's only now that they are
filing.
if you analyze this. And only 132,000 cedis. Can you believe that? Is what they have paid so far.
The taxes is on profit too.
Yeah, and I've told you over 53 million in profits.
Read, where is it?
This is here. Go through
Where's the
What
profit?
about corporate tax?
Is there?
Anyway, I mean, I'm sure they will speak for themselves.
So what's going on in this country? So total impunity.
Let's come to the elite vice chairman.
But I must talk about drip.
We'll come back.
Please,
you
spoke into the fact I have to leave.
We'll come to drip. I'm sure that by the time you finish, I'll need a drip myself.
when we come here, Sami will take all the time. They takes us to 12 o'clock. Why? We have to go home and go and do some work. Now, then he's going to talk about drip.
Vice chair.
Let me tell you one thing.
I bet you if we were discussing campaign, he will say that we should continue till 1 p.m.
No, but we come here to finish it.
Anytime the topics are uncomfortable.
Honorable.
Me?
Yeah.
What is uncomfortable to me? Have you mentioned me in this matter?
Honorable elite vice chair.
So
let me tell you something.
Yes.
No, he's not elite.
Immediately that shows me his.
No, because I want to get your attention. I am vice chair. The chairman is here.
Okay.
So you have to be.
Okay.
He's the chairman, vice. So
I'm a small chairman.
Now, Randy, the minister is talking about this company. I don't know the company. I'm sure they can answer for themselves. It's not maybe there's a clear explanation for them. But you see, Sammy,
yeah.
The people who did the demonstration, we should not say things that can give them an excuse.
No, I've condemned what
this business about why have the police not going to arrest Galamsey and they're arresting these people. It's the kind of talk that encourages them. Because that was what they were saying. When they were blocking people from going to the hospital, that was the things they were telling the people. Now, why are you going to hospital when we are demonstrating? Why haven't you joined the demonstration?
But I have condemned that.
So, but if you are condemning them, please be clear about it. And whatever you say, the conduct of the Ghana police on that occasion, at the provocation, but the Ghana police, they've shot people in the eyes, thrown hot water on people, done all kinds of things that come nowhere near this provocation. Come nowhere near. Those of us who were watching the videos were shocked that the police were actually trying to calm the people down. You go and when you go and take the key from the police car, you've seized the car. And that was a car, a police vehicle were using to tow away some vehicle. You go and seize the key. You've obstructed the police.
This is their vehicle. The vehicle was carrying their water and food. And the police was trying to tow it away. So they also demobilized the police.
The vehicle was carrying their water.
Their water and food.
That's what they are saying.
Yes.
So you obstruct the police from actually doing their work. You see, the things that they did, blocking the roads and telling people that we don't care if you are dying or whatever, go somewhere else. You should have been joining us. So you say some pregnant woman. Listen, when there's a soup, you will get all kinds of people in the soup. That's why it's a soup. Later on, you do an audit to find out. But if there's a problem here, and the police were to come here, and they say that somebody is causing some trouble at this building and in this room, and they come, they will take all of us. And then later on, they will do the investigation. For all you know, it's just me and you causing the trouble. But all these floor managers and so on will all be collected in the soup. Then later on, but I'm happy that when you show the footage, the lady that you said, I didn't see her being harassed. If she was being slapped or she was being punched, fine. But I didn't see her. She was being escorted. And I'm sure by now they've released her. And then they said there was some pregnant woman. The police have said there's no pregnant woman and all of that. But once there's a soup, the usual thing is that you gather everybody in the vicinity. Later on, you audit, and then you free those who are...
2 weeks, all of them in remand. They've already spent 3 days.
Not all of them. The people in remand, I think there are about some 14 or so. Now, this Vomayocha, who's the leader, who was denying people access to hospital, he understand went to hospital. He was denying people access to hospital.
After his lawyers had to protest.
So, as for the police behavior on that day, you must commend them. We must ask them to adopt that tolerant behavior. Because the provocation that came on that day, and the people were playing gutter to gutter on the streets. The street that they said nobody should drive on. They were playing gutter to gutter and doing totals. Do you know totals? You know totals?
They said he was a winger.
Yeah. Oh, you should see me do some.
They were playing totals on the streets, public streets. Apart from burning stuff on the streets. The provocation was too much. I haven't seen any demonstration with that kind of provocation. When you did your demonstration nationwide, did we hear of any incident? So let's not say things that can excuse the behavior of these people at all. I said you something. There's a London trial in it. So people blocked the road in a demonstration.
They climbed the thing, the M25.
Yes.
And blocked
they blocked the M25.
Yes.
They've been sentenced for
caused traffic for
5 years.
120 hours.
Yes, for blocking the traffic.
Yeah, for 120 hours.
They've been sentenced to 5 years in the United Kingdom.
The UK economy lost £750,000. The police lost £1.1 million.
You know, they have time to calculate all of this. For just blocking the road, they were not arrested for demonstrating, but for blocking the highway.
The M25.
They've been sentenced to 5 years in the United Kingdom. So,
but the truth is that it's also been condemned.
Oh, as for condemnation, you always get your relatives and your friends to come and condemn. But the law is the law, and this is the law in some places. For blocking roads, they've been sentenced to 5 years. Somebody sent me, I forwarded it to you. Have you seen it?
Which one?
Some message about commenting on the police. Oh, I thought I sent it to you. And he says, one Dr. John Hopkins.
Oh, yeah, the Post.
He says that I have followed keenly the happenings in Ghana in regard to the arrest of the protesters. I think Ghana police are more professional than the police here in the UK and in the USA. Here, you can't push down the police barricades, attack them, take their car key, and still be alive. They will shoot you. So the police really must be commended for the level of tolerance they showed on that day. Now, Sammy, this, we talked about JDM, John Mahama, also attacking the police. Well, it's the court, and the court, well, they say the law is in the bosom of the judge. I believe that 2 weeks, it's good for remand. In that, what should rather we should be looking at is even daily hearings, so you can expedite justice quickly, and that a remand for 2 weeks. Because Charlie, this remand thing, if you go in for 3-4 days, these police cells, which are not like proper prisons and so on, but the law is in the bosom of the judge, and like I'm saying, before you even go on appeal, probably the 2 weeks would have been over. But the President Mahama's thing that you talked about, I remember President Mahama. President Mahama is all talking about the high-handed, the court, the decision. You remember when they arrested this member of parliament?
Yeah, one of the lawyers of the protesters says that it's all of them were remanded, not 14.
How many people?
It says all of them were 39 or so.
39?
Yes.
Are in jail, including the woman with the aid, the old lady?
No, I don't have that detail, but it says 39. 39 were remanded.
But because the people arrested were more than 39.
42. We're told 42.
Okay. Now, I remember President Mahama, when a member of parliament was arrested.
Kennedy
Agyapong for comments that were thought to be insightful. And the treatment of him, many people said that it was high-handed. Even President Kufuor put in his voice and said that, look, you shouldn't kill a fly with a sledgehammer. President Mahama said that we will kill him with a Popo Maja. That's what he said. So now what's he saying? So we politicians too, we must have a certain level of consistency.
So the woman and the child have been granted bail.
But then I didn't see any footage of them engaging in unlawful conduct. So I'm sure they'll be freed. But Sammy, let me comment on your treatment of the Electoral Commission. You see, all of us are looking for solutions. When you describe the Electoral Commission, and it's been the tone of your party, in the terms that you describe, how are you going to seek their cooperation when you are accusing them of stealing?
But they've admitted everything. They've even said they've sacked one of their officers, their Pusiga.
You didn't accuse the Pusiga
and yet they are
officer.
not prosecuting him.
You accused the Electoral Commission
they are in
of stealing. And the words that you used to describe the Electoral Commission, I was embarrassed. That they were engaging they were in ineptitude, they were incompetent, they don't have logic, they don't have common sense. Now you are looking for equity. You are looking for a certain cooperation from the Electoral Commission. Now when you come and describe them like this, and you call them, they are attempting to rig elections.
Yeah, this is clear. The evidence is so overwhelming.
So when you say when you say they are going to rig elections for one party, how do you expect the cooperation of that party?
This is so overwhelming.
So listen to me carefully. I'm saying, when you say the Electoral Commission is rigging elections for one party, how do you expect cooperation?
They have conceded.
Because already you have described the Electoral Commission as thieves who are going to steal for the NPP. How would you get the cooperation of these bodies? So you are coming to the table to look for equity. But your hands are not clean. Huh? Look, this, let me tell you.
We are not working with them to rig
the people that you've described as thieves.
Those are your words.
No, you said they are rigging.
Yes.
You said they are rigging.
I haven't used thief here the whole day.
Okay.
So
if you don't like thieves, the people that you describe as attempting to rig elections for one party, how are you looking for justice from them? How are you looking for equity from them? You've already described them as thieves.
Yeah, but it is our right. They are not doing us a favor. It is our right to free and fair election.
So it is your right to free and fair election. Yes. If you believe that there are some difficulties with the register, how does that make them thieves who are going to steal the elections?
Well, you are introducing thieves into this discussion.
So your whole posture and the posture of your party itself doesn't have the process. We talked about Alan Martin. I hadn't seen what Alan Martin had brought, and happy Randy brought it. And when Randy read Alan Martin's proposal, you, Sami, described them as sensible and brilliant.
Yeah.
Did you hear in that proposal that Alan Martin pointing accusing figures at anybody?
Yeah, he said that there are clear grounds for us to be worried, and that is why he is calling for that platform to be created.
But saying there's ground to be worried is not the same as saying somebody is rigging elections.
What, semantics?
You see? And you describe the proposals as sensible and brilliant.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, you have a problem
Did you
with
hear
that?
Did you hear Alan Martin?
A week ago, this same Electoral Commission, in a press release and at a press briefing, was calling the NDC names, and telling the NDC that perhaps it is now that
they are taking interest in the
register, and that in 2016. When did the Electoral Commission produce a register with animals and trees? The NDC didn't see it.
Yeah, and we condemned it, didn't we? We said that the language used was not appropriate. I think there was some chap, I don't know, you mentioned that the person who
Samuel
said
Tete.
Deputy chairperson. And we condemned it. It's within the right of the NDC to condemn it, not to also go with these words.
My concern really is that the Electoral Commission has told me that it is capable of producing a register with animals and trees, and it's so proud to tell the whole world that it did that.
Yes.
Shocking.
Yes, they said they did that, and we condemned
Meanwhile,
it.
there's no evidence of that.
Now, what you've done, is there any evidence? This is a political party.
All the evidence is here. They have accepted everything. They say they are as guilty as charged. It's all here.
Can I? This is a political party, the NDC, who actually went to court.
Oh, Nana, speak to this thing.
Yes, speak to this. We are talking about the 26 September statement.
The evidence that they provide. The EC has spoken to
it. The EC has spoken to it.
Why are you taking that to the Supreme Court?
Yeah, maybe you don't have a copy. Can you? That's the EC statement.
It will go to his right.
I like your kindness.
Nana said it is right.
Randy, we are talking about...
You even read the statement.
Oh, but how I'm speaking, how can I read at the same time? I mean, what is this? What is this? I'm in the middle of speaking, answering Randy's question. You give me a document to read. How can I read and speak at the same time? Now, Randy, we are talking about evidence. Is it what we are talking about? Evidence.
In this specific matter,
yes,
the pieces of evidence that they put out, the EC has alluded to them, and the EC has given explanations to them and says that it is largely resolved some of them, and it's taking some action.
I agree. I'm saying this is a political party that on electoral matters are describing another body as incompetent and thieves and ineptitude.
So they were also incompetent in court.
These are people who actually went to court, no less than the Supreme Court, to challenge an election. And they themselves admitted that yes, we went to court, but we didn't have evidence.
Who said that? You clearly don't understand the case we took to court. You clearly don't understand it.
I'm just telling you what I saw in court. When your general secretary, who was your star witness, the famous Asiedun Ketia.
Yeah. Indefatigable.
Who was the star witness when he went to court and they asked him a simple question: where is your evidence? He told the whole world that I didn't come here with that evidence. So they ended up giving him a calculator to do 2 + 4 divided by 8 minus 8. And we saw him punching. Because he didn't come with evidence. So
I see you really like the number 8.
So this
vote for number 8.
And then if we thought that because he was in court and so he was, the whole courtroom made him say that he actually came to court without evidence. If we thought there was, maybe it was just caught by the court in drama. Months later, in a very sober mood, when he was contesting elections, he told the whole world that my opponent, as chairman, he couldn't produce any evidence and he sent me to court. So this is your record. So when you are talking about the conduct of other people as far as elections are concerned,
that was just
I'm saying be a little restrained. I haven't finished that.
Okay. You see Nana, who said that for Drip he doesn't have time. See how long he's spending on it.
I said you were going on to let me speak small. That's what I said.
Now, what's next?
Jean Mensah.
Yes.
And Samuel Kujato is going on and on and on. You may have problems with the person.
Her own statement in 2015.
That statement is not Jean Mensah's statement.
She signed it.
Yes.
Communique, she signed.
But she didn't sign as her statement.
The communique.
And you understand communique
Yes.
better than a communique is the consensus arrived at.
Are you suggesting that she disagreed with the contents
and
of
yet
the
went to
communique?
sign? Is that what
Are
you're
you
saying?
suggesting that she disagreed with the contents of the communique?
I don't know.
But will you sign a communique that you disagree? A communique you disagree? Will you put your signature?
If that is the communique, that's the consensus of the meeting.
Yeah.
You must sign.
If you disagree, will you sign?
You must sign.
I won't.
Really?
No, I won't.
You're under no obligation.
Well, that will be your decision.
Yes,
but that communique, the very word of communique, means the result of a meeting.
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
Makes it even better.
Now, so it is unfair to attribute the communique to Jean Mensah personally.
With a signature.
Her signature. And
but
interestingly,
and her
that
institute.
document didn't even carry the signatures of all those.
Yes.
But listen, Randy, going on, that stakeholders meeting that this communique came out of, the NDC, they boycotted that stakeholder engagement.
True. Yeah.
They described it as bogus. They described the meeting as unnecessary.
Yes.
They said the meeting was attempting to usurp the powers of the Electoral Commission.
True.
And today you are quoting the outcome of a meeting that you had bastardized. So this is the difficulty that we ran into.
On both sides.
Now, and actually you boycotted it. But you see, these things that we are talking about, voter transfer, deletion of names and so on and so forth, the Electoral Commission in 2016 set up a committee, the Justice V.C. Iresi
The panel.
And the report of the committee was that all of these difficulties that the NPP and the other parties were expressing can be dealt with by the arrangements already in place. And in fact, the stand of the NDC at the time was that, yes, the issues that were being brought up in 2016 were issues that did not call for a new register or a revision of the register or an audit of the register. And that these are issues that can be dealt with by the mechanisms already there. And
what was the position of the NPP?
The NPP accepted it.
What was the position of the
NPP? There was a need for an audit.
Okay.
And a committee was set up. Now, when the NPP was calling for an audit, you see, and Sami is talking about hypocrisy and all of that. you showed the same attitude in 2016. Because in 2016, when there was a call for an audit, same call that you are making today, you said there was no need for an audit. In fact, your Ofosu Ampofo said that the NPP's call for an audit of the voters' register is absurd. Your general secretary, this duo, I don't know, between the two of them, General Secretary said, he said that if you believe the Electoral Commission has lost credibility, then it is you who have a problem. President Mahama said the Electoral Commission cannot rig an election. Today, you are saying the same thing. You've swallowed your own vomit. Now you say the Electoral Commission can rig elections. Now you say that there's a need for an audit. The same call that you had described as absurd, and so on. So let's not go and sit on a high horse and talk down to some people, because this is your record. Because you don't have a lot of time. If you have a problem as a major political party, your problems deserve attention. And the Electoral Commission should set up the correct forum so that your issues can be discussed. Otherwise, in 2016, the committee said that all these issues can be dealt with. When you come and then you try and denigrate and demonize the Electoral Commission, how are you going to get their cooperation? And indeed, you have told us that the Electoral Commission is independent. You can't force them to do what they will not do.
I wonder how Charlotte Osei is feeling, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
why would she be feeling?
I mean, what she was subjected to.
Yeah.
Look, the personal insult.
Yes.
On her person.
On her person,
For the life of me, I have not seen any Electoral Commissioner subjected to that. By people whose level in this society.
Very, very high. You remember at the point they even questioned her nationality and all of that.
Now,
if she's even a citizen.
Now look at Sabio Kujeto.
Yeah. And these same people today, given the opportunity, are doing worse.
Doing the same thing that you are complaining about to another Electoral Commission. Same thing.
I'm speaking to the evidence.
Same thing.
I'm speaking to their own statement.
And somebody was not speaking to the evidence. You see, it's like if it affects your colleague, then it's bad. It's when it affects you that is good.
I like the tree rendition.
It is this same, the very words that you used to describe electoral hypocrisy and all of that, the same words can be used to describe you. Because in 2016, your posture is there for the records. You said they can't rig. Now you say they can rig. You said the call for audit was absurd and didn't make sense. Now you say there's a call for audit is necessary. You see? So get away from that posture and engender a cross-party meeting on these matters. Don't distract your own
Why is your
case.
party not speaking like you on this matter?
My party?
Yes. Why is your party not speaking like you?
My party had a press conference, and they said that because the NDC actually called them out, otherwise they wouldn't have spoken.
Yes.
Yes.
And they didn't speak like
and no, but you see, when you call my party people as being accomplices in a rigging,
they said they are silenced.
No. Samuel Kujeto, 4 seconds ago, has said that the Electoral Commission is rigging all these difficulties that they have identified. It's because the Electoral Commission plans to rig the elections.
But
that
was the same allegation you made against the Electoral Commission in 2016.
I'm saying
that they were planning to rig the election.
I'm saying
for the NDC.
I'm saying so when we made the allegations, the NDC said no, they cannot rig. Didn't they say so?
Yes.
And indeed, the Electoral Commission set up the VCRAC, and then all the parties were there. And what came out of the meeting was that all these grievances can be dealt with by.
So why is this Electoral Commission not doing same?
Not doing what?
Setting up the same panel for everybody to come there.
No, but if the panel was set up in 2016.
Yes.
And the ruling of the panel was that the internal mechanisms are adequate to deal with these issues.
But the panel, at least, the panel was there. All parties who had made were given the opportunity to come to the panel, present their case.
That is what I've called for, that the Electoral Commission should come.
So that was my question to you. Why are they not, especially when there's a precedent?
But I had told you right from the beginning that this forum should be called. Otherwise, somebody will say, but the same forum was called in 2016, and this was the ruling. You know, but I'm saying...
Yeah, but not the same set of facts, not the same set of allegations. So, yes.
Even granted, what was being called for in 2016 was an audit of the register. But even granted that the wordings of the call are different, I have said to you, and you agreed, that a forum should be convened. And then let's go on to it. But it will not help the process when one party...
Yes, but it's important. I mean, all of what Nana Komi has been saying, I mean, once he didn't mention my name directly, and I cannot be accused of hypocrisy, I'm not bothered. But look...
I'm referring to your comments today.
Look, Doc.
I'm referring to your comments today. It's about you.
Yes. Yes, Sammy.
What I have discovered on this drip matter, I have been traumatized since. Doc.
What is drip?
This country, the District Road Improvement Program.
Okay.
And I have here press cuttings from his candidate, his chief collaborator, Dr. Bawumia, saying that, let no one lie to you. DRIP was entirely my idea, Bawumia. He says he won't share credit with anybody. He even warned NDC MPs who were saying that, oh, the thing, they use common fund. MPs have a share of the common fund. He said they should all back off. It's entirely his idea. Another press cutting. DRIP has nothing to do with Parliament. It was entirely my idea. Bawumia sets the record straight. Peace FM Online. The Honorable Mahama Yariga and I decided to file an RTI request because a lot of these DRIP things going on, we didn't know what was happening. We don't have the total cost. We don't know how it was procured, where they came from, and all of that. So as diligent members of Parliament, we raised a right to information request. Dr. Randy Ambe, if you read the response, will you believe that the cost of this DRIP initiative is a staggering $178.7 million US dollars? We heard that figure from the first time.
But Common Fund doesn't have that money.
Common Fund doesn't have that money. So we asked them in the RTI that, how are you going to pay? They say, oh, 9 installments. So we will pay 15%. The next government has to come and pay 85%. Bawumia says nobody should come near. It's entirely his idea. He doesn't even have idea on how to raise the funds to pay for it fully now, before he leaves office, before he's booted out. They are going to pay only 15%. But you see, that is not what is traumatizing. In our RTI, we asked, what was the procurement method? Holy Moses. A $178.7 million contract. That Bawumia says is the champion, his idea. Single source. It wasn't competitive. Can you believe that? Non-competitive. Meanwhile, I have Bawumia here. 8 September 2016. Overpricing of contracts through the use of sole sourcing is very typical of this John Mahama NDC government. Another one. Friday, 3rd February 2017, they are just coming to office. Said, we will abort rampant sole sourcing, Bawumia. Then he held another media engagement where he accused the former vice president, his office, that is residence building, that it was also single sourced, that we didn't get value for money. I never imagined that after this crusade, this campaign against single sourcing, against sole sourcing, Bawumia campaigning in 2024 will make a single source project his pet subject that everybody should back off from, that it is his idea. $178.7 million. And these are equipments that you can get from so many companies. And if it was competitive, Bawumia was right many years ago that when it is competitive, already the Auditor General, remember, has indicted Bawumia's brother, Abraham Bawumia, the Cocoa Roads Resource Assets Limited.
No, not him, but COCOBOD.
Yes, yeah. That when they compared competitive, the 13% competitive contracts and the 87%, which Bawumia's family was hugely benefiting, it was 3 times the value. Auditor General's report. So Bawumia was right. Nana Komia was right then. And a 2.8 billion CD transaction, which a 2.8 billion CD transaction, which breaks the District Assembly Common Fund. They can't pay. They say they don't have the money. It has to enter
2.8 billion cedis.
2.8 billion cedis. The $178.7 million is 2.8 billion cedis. District Assembly Common Fund, in their response to us, they said they told them they don't have the money. They can't. It has to be spread. 9 months. It's here. Natoshi signed the RTI response. Then we also asked a breakdown of the equipment, the unit cost. Oh my goodness. That is where the roofs came crumbling down. It is clear to us, the analysis that we have done, that somebody was determined that he must make $100 million from this deal.
Out of the 170.
Yes. So we have the breakdown from this Assembly Common Fund. We decided to send an email to the company, go on their website, call them, including their South African branch, and we put together the market price of the same specs of items, because we have the specs. So the Louis Gong, the company is Louis Gong. If you go on their website now, they are so happy. They are celebrating the Ghanaian deal. It's their biggest deal ever. They are so happy. Chinese company, Louis Gong. But we asked in the RTI, we asked that did government of Ghana deal directly, or they had an intermediary, as usual.
Which intermediary, 1 or 2?
They had an intermediary. This is intermediary 8. You know. And guess what? J.A. Plant Pool, the Zoom Lion conglomerate. Intermediary. So, Louis Gong Motor Grader, they told us, and it's also on their website, you can go and check, that the current market value, if you want one, is $61,000. Guess how much Bawumia's drip, how much taxpayers are paying for it? $185,000, 236 US dollars, 80 cents. So $185,000, inflated by 204%. Louis Gong single drum roller, 6114E. The market value is $24,500. We are paying $77,616. Can you believe that?
And no, not to cut, but are the equipment from Louis Gong?
Yes, Louis Gong. Louis Gong crawler bulldozer B230. The market value, they told us, $100,000. It's available on their website. We are paying $188,000
for one.
And 67 pence for one. Incredible. The levels of inflation. The low bed, $51,400 real market value. We are paying $146,000. The Louis Gong backhoe CLG 77A, that's the spec. Market value $43,000. We are paying $78,000. When you put all of this together, Ghana should not have paid more than $76.6 million. The real market value, what they are telling us, what Louis Gong is telling us. It should not have been for all of this equipment.
If an individual
and yes, exactly. And they told us that even with this, if you are buying in bulk, as is standard practice, they give you a discount. But we have been very generous and conservative in our analysis. Very kind.
I thought you were getting cost.
Very generous in our analysis. Nana Komia mischief. You know. You know.
The man, we come and sit here, he denigrates me all the time. I'm having a private conversation with you two.
How can you be having a private conversation on a live program?
Mischievous. You gave me an 8-page document when I was.
Okay. Your apology.
I'm asking Randy, because Randy was trying to.
Your apology.
Randy was trying to answer a call.
Nana Akomia.
They say I'm being mischievous.
Your apologies. You are not mischievous. You are a saint. Forgive me.
Don't come up here.
So, $76.6 million maximum is what we should have paid. We are paying $178.7 million.
Can you
believe that?
Randy.
And you see, The experts that we are speaking to, they're saying with this amount we are going to pay, this $178.7 million, we could actually have opened a factory.
Yeah.
We could have opened a factory.
Randy.
So let's continue next.
Yeah.
No, we must, this matter, we must delve into it. And look, we have served notice that that 85%, they want the next government to pay. We are not going to pay under these terms.
Okay. It's all fine.
This sweetheart deal is not going to happen.
Now, I mean, I'm happy Samuel Kujeto, as part of his parliamentary oversight, chairman, is gone behind the figures given by the office of the
District Assembly Common Fund.
But see, I would have wished that when you got the information from the office about the prices and so on, and you went to check, and you realized there were discrepancies, before you come on air to make these accusations, I would have wished that you would have gone back to the District Assembly's Common Fund office and asked them. But you said a grader is $170,000. But when we check from the manufacturers, it's $80,000. You said a compactor is so. For another response before you come to this. But, well, maybe that's the way you chose it. I'm hoping that the Office of the District Assembly's Common Fund will respond. Because these are grave issues.
Very grave issues.
The
inflated by $102 million.
Yes, these are grave issues.
Yeah.
But really, I would have wished.
But it's not your candidate is the one who should be responding. He said everybody should back off.
I'm coming to that.
That it is his idea.
I'm coming to that. I mean, it's fine to look at ways to try and say something negative about Bawumia. But you are trying too hard. See, you are trying too hard. Listen carefully. The idea of getting this basic equipment for the district assemblies is a good idea.
But there's nothing novel about it.
No, I'm not saying it's novel.
Okay.
It's a good idea. It's not new.
Yes.
Yes, district assembly. There have been difficulties that we must resolve. Because when you give equipment to these public institutions, we all know some of the difficulties. I've been a member of an assembly before. They end up doing all kinds of things with it, private jobs. Now, I hope that those difficulties will be relieved.
The Ashanti Regional Minister said they shouldn't go
for
guarantee.
Yeah. But the point is that the idea of procuring this basic equipment for the district assemblies so they can intervene in urgent road matters is a good idea. In fact, every political leader I have heard endorses it. That's a good idea.
They've always done it.
I've had MPs.
The idea is not in question.
Yes. So I've had MPs trying to also associate them from both sides, associate themselves from it and all of that. The procurement.
Yeah, should they have been single source?
No, 1 second. Unless you want to say that Bawumia or your colleagues who have also endorsed it as a good idea are also responsible for the procurement.
No, but he says he championed it. Why should he do a single source procurement? You know, when he championed.
You haven't been fair if you say, why should Bawumia do a single source?
Yeah.
Bawumia,
he says
the man in charge of the procurement.
But he says everybody should back off. You haven't read
He says that the idea...
This was in Ewutu Senya West.
This is simple. He says that the drip has nothing to do. It was entirely mine.
Yeah, he said he chaired the committee.
He says entirely mine.
So
he chaired the committee. He supervised everything. He betted it. He said everybody should back off.
There's some footage where President Mahama claimed something, and there were difficulties with the procurement. And you were asked, and you said that President Mahama doesn't award contracts. He will bring the idea, but he's not a person who supervises.
So Bawumia didn't know it was going to be single source.
Unless you can tell me that Bawumia is part of the procurement entity.
Wow.
But as for the idea, what is wrong with the idea?
So when Bawumia was accusing Mahama in this tweet, when Bawumia accused Mahama,
when you were saying Mahama doesn't award contracts,
single source leads to overpriced contracts. What was Bawumia?
Now you have brought it to attention that is single source.
Yes.
The people in charge of the procurement process, the district assembly committee.
Nana, are you suggesting?
Why didn't you ask them why they?
Nana, are you suggesting that the vice president making this statement long after the
procurement.
No. Long after the ceremony.
The ceremony was on July 31st.
Yes.
July 31st.
Long after the ceremony.
Yes, he made a statement September 10th.
The vice president, whose concept it was to do this thing, did not know and didn't bother to know the processes that were used to bring his thing into fruition. He's the vice president. He didn't know about it. He didn't bother to find out.
Randy.
He didn't know about the cost. He didn't bother to find out the financing arrangement.
In the first place, single source is not illegal.
Yes.
That's number one.
Yes.
That's number one. It is just the...
It doesn't guarantee value for money.
No, it is just the...
application.
No, not the application. The frequency.
The frequency.
It's the frequency that we're worried about. But otherwise, there are conditions.
But even there are conditions which are being abused.
Otherwise, there are conditions under which you can go by single source. We're worried about the free. It's supposed to be exceptional.
Yes.
But when it was becoming the norm, then all of us are concerned about
the
it. But otherwise, single source is not illegal.
Yes.
That's one. Number two, if anything that Bawumia champions is going to involve himself in the procurement.
No, that's not a question I asked. I'm saying that, are you suggesting that at the time he was
he's not aware of single source?
That he wasn't aware of how his concept, his idea was actualized. He wasn't aware and he wasn't interested.
You mean the single source?
The actualization of his idea.
The single source, the inflation of the
value
of the
for
cost,
money, everything.
No value for money, the violation of the PFMA, all of that.
The fact that it is his idea doesn't mean that he's in charge of the procurement process. Otherwise, you'd have directed your question to his office.
No, not being in charge.
You
know that even presidents are not in charge of
a
lot of processes. But why do you hold them responsible?
So, yes. You hold them responsible because ultimate responsibility. But these direct questions about procurement, they have to go to the District Assembly's Common Fund.
Yes.
Because they did the procurement.
Which we have done, and they have responded that yes.
And then you've discovered anomalies.
Yes.
It is good that you follow up and ask them, what are the discrepancies in the prices? That's what you should do.
So you're not ashamed
because
that
of politics
has been exposed again for his lack of principle, lack of consistency.
Because his idea was implemented using single.
We need to go.
You sat here and told us President Mahama doesn't